Chapter 57. Seeing that Longao had made up his mind, Yu Yin let out a deep sigh and did not say anything more. During this time, Yu Yin asked a lot of questions about the Sky Cloud sect, but she did not get any answers. After all, in Longao's opinion, what a man should do was to resist all difficulties and not let anything happen to his woman. After the meal, Longao personally escorted Yu Yin out of Star Cloud City. Looking at the figure that was gradually disappearing, Longao was also reluctant. However, he was clear that the Miao family would not let him off easily after punishing the demon from the Miao family. If Yu Yin stayed here, she would face the Miao family's revenge together with him. He loved her and could not let her be in danger. If you offend the Miao family, you will have a hard time in Star Cloud City. Those who dare to provoke me will be killed. His state of mind had changed. Unknowingly, Longao had a murderous and cold aura. If not for Yu Yin by his side, he would not have punished her lightly. I will face it together with you. How could Longao not know what Kwangao was thinking? He shook his head and said, I will not drag you down. Let's part here. If fate allows, we will meet again. Kwangao seemed to want to say something, but was stopped by Longao. He said simply, if you treat me as a friend, please respect my decision. Taking a deep look at the young man beside him, Kwangao finally nodded. However, he still said, Longao, you are my friend. I will not leave you alone. If you need anything, just say the word and I will be there at any time. No words were needed to express everything. After provoking the Miao family, Longao didn't leave Star Cloud City because he knew very well that once he left Star Cloud City and the Miao family couldn't find him, they would definitely point their spear at his family. With the strength of his family, could they withstand the revenge of the Miao family? Because of this, Longao chose to stay in the end, even if he had to face the revenge of the entire Miao family. As soon as he returned to Star Cloud City, Longao was stopped by a man who looked somewhat similar to Miao Yao. It was Miao He, the genius of the Miao family who came for revenge. He was also ranked 82nd on the 100 battle ranking. Are you Longao? When Miao Yao was carried back to the family, the entire Miao family was completely shocked. For so many years, no one had ever dared to do anything to the Miao family. After all, the Miao family's foundation and strength in Star Cloud City was there for all to see. If an ordinary person provoked the Miao Yao, the Miao family would definitely kill the other party. However, the situation was slightly different. The freak from the Long family in the Red Fire town had become a genius from a good-for-nothing in just a few months. With a counterattack, he had entered the 78th place on the 100 battle ranking list. What's more, he had the help of the Star Cloud Imperial family and the LV5 Long family. The Miao family was not afraid of Longao and the family behind Longao. Instead, they were afraid of the Nebula Royal family and the Rank 5 Long family. Until now, the Miao family still could not figure out what the Nebula Royal family and the LV5 Long family meant. If they went to take revenge, would the Nebula Royal family and the LV5 Long family intervene? Under the fear, the Miao family came up with a solution. That was to send Miao He to kill the other party in a fair fight. Even if the Nebula Royal family and the LV5 Long family were unhappy, they believed that they could not do anything. Both of them were from one line sky. One was the 78th place on the 100 battle ranking list, while the other was the 82nd place on the 100 battle ranking list. It seemed that the Miao family had overestimated Miao He and underestimated Longao's strength. So what? Very well. My name is Miao He. Now I formally challenge you. Do you dare to accept the challenge? Miao He, don't you think it's a bit unkind to bully my brother with the Miao family? At this time, Ouyang Fei came from a distance with two Evolver experts. As the crown prince of the Nebula Royal family, even if Ouyang Fei's strength was not as good as Miao His, the backing behind him was enough to make Ouyang Fei strong. Your Highness, this person cut off my brother's tongue and chopped off his arms. If I don't take revenge, I won't be able to swallow this anger. Of course, Miao He knew that since Ouyang Fei came out, he must be representing the Nebula Royal family. What he was afraid of was really happening. However, Miao He already had a plan to deal with it. That was a fair challenge. As long as the other party accepted the challenge, he would have a way to kill the other party. I've already investigated this matter. It was your brother who harassed Longao's wife first. Longao was just defending himself. Defending himself? Looking at the crown prince in front of him, Miao, his voice became a little cold. This was because he could clearly sense that Ouyang Fei was determined to help the other party and did not hesitate to offend the Miao family. It was also because of this that he was very surprised. He did not know why the Nebula royal family valued a young boy so much. Longao, I thought you were great. It turns out that you're just a coward. Since you don't dare to accept the challenge, you'll be called Tortoise from now on. Hearing this, Ouyang Fei's face became a little ugly. After all, he knew what the other party meant. He did this on purpose to bait Longao. Before Ouyang Fei could say anything, Longao took a step forward and replied coldly, I accept the challenge, but I have a condition. I accept the challenge. The other party finally accepted the challenge. He was instantly delighted. He asked anxiously, what condition? In our battle, life and death will be up to fate. I hope that this matter will not implicate our families. No problem. You and I will have a battle of life and death 10 days later outside the palace. I hope you won't be scared away. Other than contempt, in his eyes, this trash in front of him was not his opponent at all. Looking at he who had already left, Ouyang Fei was a little worried. He said, Brother Long, I know that you're confident that you can defeat he. However, you don't know that 3 years ago, with the help of the Miao family, he captured a Xiantian spiritual beast. When the man and the beast worked together, their strength doubled. Unless it's an evolved expert, no one in one-line sky could be his opponent. Spiritual beast? Longao was very curious. He asked, Brother Ouyang, since he is so powerful, why is he only ranked 82nd on the 100 battle ranking list? Invincible under evolution? In that case, why was he ranked so low, even behind lunatic Long and domineering arrogance? Brother Long, you don't know that to pursue the 100 battle ranking list, you can't rely on the help of spiritual beasts. You have to rely on your own strength. Therefore, although he has the help of spiritual beasts, he can't use them to get a higher rank. So that was it. Longao did not flinch because of this. Otherwise, he would not have come this far. With a determined face, he said, I will definitely defeat he. Although Ouyang Fei did not spend much time with Longao, he knew his character very well. After all, it was impossible for ordinary people to persist for 10 years. Ouyang Fei nodded and said, I will be there in 10 days. Brother Long, no matter you win or lose, I will support you unconditionally. Chapter 58. Of course, Longao knew what Ouyang Fei meant. 10 days later, there would be a battle to the death. Because of this, Longao did not leave Star Cloud City. Instead, he found an inn and stayed there for the time being. Master, I have finished refining the purple-winged blood-gold lion. I will transfer it into your body bit by bit later. Longao nodded. He was very happy. With Long Fu and the blood pool in the dragon seal space, no matter what spirit beast's soul was, as long as it was placed in the blood pool, it would be refined into pure energy. Relying on this pure power, his cultivation could continue to increase. However, Longao knew that he couldn't absorb the power of the purple-winged blood-gold lion all at once. Otherwise, if he wasn't careful, he would explode and die. He did not think about cultivating. After all, it was almost impossible to break through his current realm in a short period of time. Longao had already obtained the purple-winged blood-gold lion's beast core. He also bought all the materials needed to refine the spirit recovery pill. He rented the entire inn so that no one would disturb him. Below the huge pill furnace, there was a raging fire. Longao first placed the beast core into the pill furnace and began to refine. Longao knew that he only had one chance. He only had one purple-winged blood-gold lion's beast core. If he failed, he would not be able to refine it again. Therefore, he was very careful and focused. Perhaps he was an alchemy genius, but Longao only took half an hour to successfully refine the core embryo. Then, He put in all the materials and started refining the spirit recovery pill. The next day, early morning, the news that Longao had challenged the Miao family's genius, Miao He, had spread throughout Starcloud City. With the Miao family's deliberate promotion, everyone despised Longao. They thought that this brat from Thundercloud City did not know the immensity of heaven and earth. He wanted to challenge the Miao family's genius. However, it was unknown who spread Longao's deeds, but it was also known by everyone. In just a few months, he had reached the primordial realm and entered the 78th place in the 100 battle ranking list. He was even 4 places higher than Miao He. What did that mean? However, Miao His Human Beast Unite was too powerful. If it were not for the fact that the 100 battle ranking list did not allow people to borrow the power of spirit beasts, Miao His ranking on the 100 battle ranking list would continue to rise. He would definitely surpass the 78th place. It was precisely because of this that no one was optimistic about Longao's chances. They believed that Longao was just seeking his own death in this battle. Longao didn't care about the disdain and contempt of others. He had been able to endure the humiliation for 10 whole years, let alone now. Longao, the Patriarch wants to see you. Senior Longmo, now? Longao was very curious. He did not know why the Patriarch of the Long family was in such a hurry to see him. Well, Longao, I know you don't want to, but the Patriarch wants to see you very much. I hope you can do me a favor this time. Otherwise, I won't be able to explain it to the Patriarch. To be honest, Longao really didn't want to go to the Long family at this time. But he had no choice. Long Mo had helped him before. If he insisted on not going, it would seem a little unkind. Longao had no choice but to nod and say, "In that case, I'll go." Long Mo's face lit up. He said, "Okay, let's get up now." As he spoke, Long Mo brought Longao to the rank 5 Long family. As one of the 5 tycoons of Starcloud City, the rank 5 Long family's strength and foundation were there for all to see. Even the Sky Cloud Martial School could not compete with the rank 5 Long family. This was the strength of a rank 5 Long family. The Long family was located in the most luxurious area in Starcloud City. Its huge mansion could accommodate tens of thousands of people. Stepping into the Long family, Longao was a little surprised. They were both from the Long family, but the difference was so big because of the difference in level. In the lobby of the Long family, Longao entered the lobby of the Long family and saw that there was only one person sitting in the lobby. There was no doubt that it was the Patriarch of the Long family, Long Ying. Longmo said, "Patriarch, Longao is here. I'll leave first." "Go." A majestic voice came out from the middle-aged man. As the Patriarch of the Long family, the pressure accumulated over a long period of time was enough to deter others even if he was just sitting there. Long Mo left. Only Long Ao and Long Ying were left in the lobby of the Long family. Long Ao, 10 years ago, you failed to circulate your internal strength. For 10 years, you were humiliated and ridiculed. Instead of giving up, you persevered and worked hard. 10 years later, your cultivation improved by leaps and bounds. In just a few months, you reached the one-line sky realm. You kept fighting against enemies and made great progress. You entered the 78th place in the 100 battle ranking list. Am I right? Long Ao was not surprised at all. He knew that with the strength of the Long family, it was easy for them to know about him. That's right. No matter what your talent and potential are, I admire your perseverance and unwillingness to give up. Long Ao smiled and said nothing. Sit. Long Ao did not stand on ceremony. He sat down and asked, "May I know what you want from me?" Long Ao, the Long family is one of the most powerful forces on the continent. Our Long family is also divided into 9 levels. I believe you may not know that the Long family below the 3rd level is not really a part of the Long family. What did that mean? Long Ao was curious. He did not know why Long Ying wanted to tell him this. Long family. Only those above the 3rd level can enter the Dragon Valley and awaken their bloodline. They can also find their own partners and become the most powerful existence on the continent, the Dragon Warrior. Longao did not know what Longying was talking about. Only the third-level Long family members could enter the Dragon Valley and find their own partners to become the Dragon Warrior. Dragons were the most powerful existence on Earth. No wonder the Long family could become the most powerful force on the continent. Senior, please tell me what you want to say. Alright, all the Long families below rank 3 all hope for a Dragon Warrior to appear in their family. That way, they might be able to lead their family into the Long family. The reason I'm looking for you this time is to let you give it a try. Try what? Not many people know about this. A month ago, I accidentally found a passage to enter the Dragon Valley. However, this is a serious matter. If the Long family knows about it, all of us will die. In an instant, Longao knew what Longying meant. Could it be that he wanted him to enter the Dragon Valley? Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew what it meant to enter the Dragon Valley without the permission of the Long clan. After all, Longying had just said that only those of the Long clan who had reached level 3 or above could enter the Dragon Valley to find their own partners. Once he entered the Dragon Valley, he would definitely attract trouble. Chapter 59. Long Family. Only a rank 3 Long family and above could enter the Dragon Valley to look for companions. A rank 5 Long family did not have the right to enter the Dragon Valley. Longao was also surprised at Longying's luck to be able to find the passage into the Dragon Valley. Longao understood Longying's thoughts. After all, the Dragon Valley was too tempting to resist. Once a disciple became a Dragon Warrior, not only would he be able to soar to the sky, he would also be able to lead his family to a higher level. Opportunities and risks coexisted. If one was not careful, they would be doomed. Longao, back then, due to some kind of fortuitous encounter, the old ancestor of our Long clan had an agreement with the ancestor of the Dragon Valley. As long as a disciple of the Dragon clan's bloodline entered the Dragon Valley, they would not be attacked. Longao naturally understood this point. Senior, I would like to ask, how many Dragon Valleys are there in the continent? 1 Dragon Valley. I have also carefully studied this passage. If I am not mistaken, this passage should have been forcefully opened by someone. After such a long time, only 3 people can enter the passage. Senior, forgive me for asking, but since only 3 people can enter the Dragon Valley, why would you give me one of the slots? Longao had never believed in free lunches. He also knew how important the slots to enter the Dragon Valley were. Would a rank 5 Long family give him one so easily? If he chose to believe it so easily, he would really be a fool. Longao, I believe you are a straightforward person. Since that is the case, I will not beat around the bush. Here comes the main topic. I will give you one of the 3 slots. When you enter the Dragon Valley, regardless of whether you live or die, it has nothing to do with me or my family. If you can become a Dragon Warrior, you only need to promise me one thing. How about it? Straightforward. Although Longao did not like this kind of realistic answer, he admired Longying's straightforwardness. Tell me, if you can become a Dragon Warrior, no matter where you go in the future, you must not forget my Long family. You must think of a way to bring us to a rank 3 Long family. How about it? As long as you agree, I will give you a slot to enter the Dragon Valley. Longao did not answer immediately. As for Longying, he did not chase after him. Helping the Long family to become a Long family of the 5th rank? That's right, if anything happens to us, you have to help us. Longao glared at Longying. He knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him. If he missed it, who knew how long he would have to wait to enter the Dragon Valley? Senior, I have a question for you. If the 3 of us enter the Dragon Valley, will it automatically close? Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew that if the passageway could be opened all the time, then the Long family would not need to give him a rank 5. That's right. That's why this is our only chance. Failure is not an option. Alright, Senior, I promise you that as long as I can leave the Dragon Valley alive and become a Dragon Warrior, I will definitely step in if the rank 5 Long family has any problems in the future. However, I cannot guarantee that I will be able to lead the Long family to rank 3, but I can only try my best. No problem. Just like that, Longao received a slot to enter the Dragon Valley. He knew that this was his chance. No matter what happened, he had to grasp it well. After all, it was extremely difficult to enter the Dragon Valley other than this passageway. Long family was the biggest obstacle. Longao, you have to remember that you cannot let anyone know about the Dragon Valley passageway. Otherwise, we will all die. Understood. After you have dealt with Miao He in 10 days, I will arrange for you to go to the Dragon Valley passageway. No problem, I will come back in 10 days. With that, Longao got up and left. Master, isn't it a little unworthy to give the 3 slots to this person? Long Ying waved his hand, his face was filled with indifference. He said, this person is not ordinary. A piece of trash that has been silent for 10 years can actually break through the one-line sky in just a few months. Just thinking about it makes me feel that this is a little strange. Therefore, I have to take a gamble. Even the Long family of rank 3 and above may not be able to enter the Dragon Valley. If this person really succeeds, won't we get nothing? Yes, it is better to rely on yourself than on others. Only when it is something that belongs to you can rest assured. I have already made the arrangements. I hope that this will be an opportunity for us. After leaving the Long family, Longao found a restaurant and sat quietly by the window. He thought about what had happened before. Dragon Valley, Dragon Warrior. Everything seemed to come too easily. It was like a pie falling from the sky. Could the rank 5 Long family be plotting something? For some reason, Longao had a bad premonition in his heart. However, the matter had already been decided. He could only deal with it carefully. Perhaps this was really an opportunity for him. Once he succeeded, he could become a Dragon Warrior. 10 days later, Longao knew that the only thing he had to do now was to fight in 10 days. If he won, he could go to the Dragon Valley passageway smoothly. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, there was a sea of people outside the royal family. Countless people wanted to watch a good show. After all, both of them were figures on the 100 battle ranking. Miao He was even known as the strongest person in one-line sky. His human-beast unity had infinite power. Outside the imperial family, don't know when, a very large life and death arena had already been built. Not only the imperial family, even the other 4 great families were all present. They all wanted to see this battle. Everyone in the Miao family had confidence written all over their faces, as if they did not put Longao in their eyes at all. On the life and death arena, Longao and Miao He stared at each other. Both of them were emitting a strong fighting spirit. Before the battle started, the 2 fighting spirits were already colliding fiercely. Beside Miao He stood a tall black wolf. The wind demon wolf was a Xiantian spiritual beast. Its speed and attack power were very strong. It was because of this wind demon wolf that Miao He was able to stand in an invincible position in one-line sky. On the wall of the imperial palace, a middle-aged man in a yellow robe asked with a faint smile, "Fei, is this the Longao that you strongly recommended?" At this moment, Ouyang Fei stood respectfully and said, "Father, this is Longao. After 10 years of persistence and hard work, he finally made a comeback. In just a few months, he has grown to such a level. Father, this boy's talent and potential are really amazing. If we can use him, I believe it will be of great help to the imperial palace." Help! The Emperor of Star Cloud smiled. No one knew what his expression meant. Ouyang Fei did not dare to continue. Chapter 60. Longao, don't say that I'm bullying you. If you have a spirit beast companion, you can summon it now. Shameless and despicable. Hearing Miao his words, everyone despised him in their hearts. After all, everyone knew that Miao He had a spirit beast companion and was almost invincible in one-line sky. But that was the reality. You talk too much. Longao, you're really arrogant. In 10 moves, I'll let you know how big the gap between our strength is. Before Miao He could finish his words, Longao had already made his move. With a stride forward, his body had already dashed out. Before he even arrived, the powerful mysterious heavenly finger had already pierced through space. Meow he did not panic in the slightest. With his bare hands, he attacked the demonic wind wolf from both sides. The demonic wind wolf's speed was very fast. One could only see a series of after-images. It had already arrived behind Longao. From the left and back, it became a pincer attack. The combination of man and beast was already a great advantage. But in this man-eat-man world, the winner was the king and the loser was the bandit. As long as you won, who would look down on you? Not daring to be careless, Longao dodged sideways. Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes. 9 fist lights overlapped and instantly gathered into a powerful fist energy. Longao's speed was also very fast. The powerful fist energy ruthlessly smashed onto the demonic wind wolf. But because the demonic wind wolf's speed was too fast, the fist energy seemed to have hit the demonic wind wolf, but in fact, it hit the afterimage left behind by the demonic wind wolf. The demonic wind wolf's speed was simply too fast. Watching the life and death battle on the arena of life and death, countless people below the arena of life and death held their breaths. Their eyes were glued to the battle, afraid that they would miss a trace of it. On the Imperial City Wall. Feng'er, think of a way to win this kid over. Hearing his imperial father's words, Ouyang Fei seemed a little surprised. He nodded and said, "Understood, Imperial Father." The battle on the arena of life and death had escalated rapidly. A single move was ever-changing. In just 3 moves, it was as if they had fought for 30 moves. The slightest carelessness could lead to eternal damnation. Longao, you will die today. In just 3 moves, Longao already knew the might of the beast and man working together. The wild devouring saber appeared in his hand and he executed the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. 9 saber lights quickly overlapped and instantly chopped out. Shocking saber light streaked across the sky. The startling saber light still struck nothing. In the end, it was because Miao He and the wind demon wolf were too fast and could only strike after images. Speed. Longao knew very well that there was only one way to defeat the human and beast alliance, and that was to use speed to overcome speed. However, could his speed suppress his opponent's speed? If it was just Miao He, Longao was confident that he could defeat him within 10 moves. However, with the addition of the demonic wind wolf, the situation changed completely. After all, with the demonic wind wolf, he could not attack Miao He wholeheartedly. Longao was even more clear about one thing, and that was that as the battle continued to escalate, the chances of him losing would be very high. Since the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes did not succeed in defeating his opponent, Longao then used the second style of the wild devouring 8 styles, Frozen Heart Devouring. The surroundings were instantly sealed by the terrifying saber light. Because of this, although the demonic wind wolf and Miao He were fast, it seemed difficult for them to win with speed. However, it would not be easy for Longao to win with the wild devouring 8 styles. Frozen Heart Devouring. The saber light scattered in all directions. As Miao He and the wind demon wolf were careless, the saber light instantly invaded their bodies. The horrifying thing about heart-sealing ice was that once it invaded one's body, it would immediately devour one's soul and heart meridians. Miao He was shocked. He and the demonic wind wolf slowed down and used 1/3 of their strength to resist the saber light that was devouring their soul and heart. Longao was most afraid of the human and beast speed. Since Miao He and the demonic wind wolf had slowed down, it gave him a rare opportunity. Holding the wild devouring saber, he slashed again and again. Each slash was stronger than the previous one, and the saber light continued to stack. On the life and death arena, the sudden reversal of the battle caused everyone to be unable to react. In everyone's hearts, they had always believed that Miao He and the demonic wind wolf could easily defeat their opponent. But now, the battle had been reversed. Under everyone's astonished gaze, the blood-sucking blade in Longao's hand was like the arrival of the Grim Reaper. Not to mention Miao He and the wind demon wolf, even the people around the life and death arena were sweating cold sweat for the man and beast. Demonic wind wolf, whirlwind slash. Miao He was also forced back step by step. On one hand, he had to deal with the saber light that was devouring him, while on the other, he he had to deal with the saber light that was coming from his opponent. Under these two attacks, Miao-He was forced to use his most powerful move, Whirlwind Slash. Miao-He could not use Whirlwind Slash alone. He had to join hands with the demonic Wind Wolf. The Wild Devouring 8 styles consisted of the first style, Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes, and the second style, Frozen Heart Devouring. Longao circulated the 9 revolutions reincarnation technique, gathering all his strength in his hands and fiercely using the first 2 styles of the Wild Devouring 8 styles. The clash of the strongest moves. Longao's Wild Devouring 8 styles, Miao-He and the demonic Wind Wolf's Whirlwind Slash. As if knowing what was about to happen, everyone around the life and death stage took a step back. There were even some victors who immediately turned around and left. After all, this was the clash of the strongest martial artists in the one-line sky. Just the aura alone was very likely to injure ordinary people. On the Imperial Palace's wall, Emperor Xingyun's eyes shone with a golden light as he watched the young man single-handedly resisting the joint attack of Miao-He and the demonic Wind Wolf. His face was full of admiration and anticipation. After all, the reversal of the battle was something that anyone would look forward to. Feng, go and inform the Miao family. No matter who wins or loses this battle, or if there are deaths, the Miao family is not allowed to intervene. They are also not allowed to seek revenge on the Longao family. Otherwise, they will incur the wrath of the Imperial Palace. Ouyang Fei was even more surprised. However, he understood his Imperial father's understanding. His Imperial father was already paying attention to Longao. He was even willing to offend the Miao family for this person. However, no matter what, Longao was someone he strongly recommended. The better he was, the more advantageous it would be for him. On the life and death stage, both sides had already used their strongest moves. From the beginning of the battle until now, only 5 moves had passed. However, both sides seemed to be unable to wait any longer and wanted to end the battle quickly. When Miao-He and the demonic Wind Wolf used their strongest move, Whirlwind Slash, the demonic Wind Wolf's speed soared to the maximum. Even his afterimage could not be seen. He began to spin around Longao. At this time, whirlwind-shaped blade lights slashed from all directions. On the other hand, Longao used one blade to meet 10,000 blades. Longao's Wild Devouring 8 styles turned into endless blade lights, forming a blade light chi shield around him. The blade lights from both sides fiercely collided. Sparks flew in all directions, and the aura dispersed. If the Imperial Palace had not been prepared and sent experts to set up a chi shield, just the scattered blade lights alone would have been enough to harm the innocent bystanders. Chapter 61. Endless Whirlwind Slash. Shocking Blade Chi Shroud. The two continued to collide. Longao and Miao-He both used their strongest moves. It could be said that victory or defeat would be decided by this move. Pressure was the driving force. Under the constant pressure, Longao borrowed the power that Long Fu continuously transmitted to him and began to fill his acupuncture points with spiritual energy. A martial artist had a total of 108 acupuncture points. When they were completely filled with spiritual energy, they would reach the so-called one-line sky peak. Next, they would have to condense their own force and evolve it to become a martial artist. Previously, Longao had relied on his own efforts and some pills to fill 12 acupuncture points with spiritual energy. But now, in just a few minutes, relying on Long Fu's power and the constant pressure, his spiritual energy had filled 12 acupuncture points, which was a total of 24 acupuncture points. The rapid increase in strength caused Longao's blood-sucking blade to release even more shocking blade rays. Force. The unique force of a martial artist. However, the force condensed by a martial artist in one-line sky was different from the force condensed by a martial artist in one-line sky. But even so, a martial artist in one-line sky could condense force. Not to mention their strength, just their aura alone was enough to give them a huge advantage. Force. Sensing the force released by the other party, Miao-He looked as if he had seen a ghost and exclaimed, "Force!" Below the life and death arena, 99% of the people didn't know the force that Miao-He spoke of, but the martial artists were very clear. They all looked at the youth in horror. No one believed that the youth could condense the force of a martial artist in one-line sky realm. With the reversal of force, Longao began to gradually turn the tables. The blood-sucking blade in his hand continuously used the first move, Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes, and the second move, Heart-Devouring Ice. Just as He was shocked, Longao seized the rare opportunity and used himself as bait to rush out. Using Heart-Devouring Ice, the terrifying blade rays continuously invaded his body. The horrifying knife light kept devouring his heart and soul. Under normal circumstances, he and the Wind Demon Wolf would have been able to resist the knife light's devouring. But now, Longao wouldn't give them any chance. Just as they were trying their best to resist the devouring blade light, Longao made his move. The Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. 9 saber lights instantly overlapped and converged into a shocking saber light. Then, it ruthlessly chopped down on the man and the beast. While everyone was crying out in shock, He and the Windfiend Wolf were instantly cut in half by the shocking saber light. Killing He and the Windfiend Wolf in one strike left everyone dumbfounded. It was hard to imagine what had just happened. He and Wind Demon Wolf were dead. Everyone knew that although he was only ranked 82nd on the 100 battle ranking list, with his strength and the help of the demonic Wind Wolf, even a warrior at the peak of one-line sky could not defeat He. This was his capital. But now, He and the Wind Demon Wolf had indeed been killed by a single slash. What was even more inconceivable was that not only did the family not seek revenge after his death, they all turned around and left. What had happened? Of course, Longao didn't waste his time in killing He and the Windfiend Wolf. After all, the Windfiend Wolf was an innate spiritual beast. Using the soul-searching technique, he collected the Windfiend Wolf's soul and handed it to Long Fu. Longao didn't stay in the arena of life and death for long. He turned around and left quickly. Until now, the people around him hadn't left yet. They were all staring at the arena of life and death and the 2 corpses. "Brother Long, father wants to see you." Emperor of Star Cloud? Just as Longao was feeling suspicious, Ouyang Fei suddenly said, "Brother Long, don't worry. Father has just asked me to find the Miao family. His death won't affect your family. As for the Miao family, they won't dare to do anything to you with our imperial family around." The arena of life and death was a battle of life and death. No matter who won or lost, they couldn't take revenge. Longao knew very well that if it wasn't for the rank 5 Long family and Star Cloud Imperial family, the Miao family wouldn't let him off so easily. After all, He and Yaro's talent, potential, and strength were all there. Because of this, Longao nodded and said, "Brother Ouyang, please lead the way." "Brother Long, don't worry. Father values you very much. Follow me." Longao wasn't worried at all. If the Star Cloud Imperial family wanted to deal with him, they wouldn't have to go through so much trouble. After all, with his strength and family background, he was nothing in the eyes of the Star Cloud Imperial family. The Star Cloud Imperial family was very imposing. At first glance, there were high walls and red tiles everywhere. It was a grand and majestic place. This was Longao's first time entering the Star Cloud Imperial family. However, he didn't feel surprised at all. Maybe it was because his strength was constantly increasing. After all, in the eyes of warriors, some things in the secular world weren't that important. Especially for warriors who pursued the pinnacle of the martial Tao, things in the secular world were even less important. The Star Cloud Emperor, Ouyang Feng, didn't summon Longao in the main hall. Instead, he summoned him to an unusually quiet side hall. "Longao greets your majesty." Although his cultivation had reached the one-line sky realm, Longao still had the courtesy that the Star Cloud Emperor should have. However, he didn't kneel. Ouyang Feng didn't mind. After all, the one-line sky warriors were already considered to have surpassed the secular world. "Come, sit. There's no need to be polite." "Thank you, your majesty." "Longao, I heard from Feng that you have become sworn brothers with him. If that's the case, if you don't mind, you can call me Uncle Ouyang in the future." Uncle Ouyang? Longao was very surprised. He couldn't understand why the Star Cloud Emperor was so nice to him. Was it because of his talent and strength? It didn't seem like it. After all, there were many geniuses and powerful warriors in the Star Cloud Imperial family. Although he was puzzled, since the other party had already said so, how could he not give face? Whether it was because of the other party's identity or because of Ouyang Fei, Longao could only call out, "Uncle Ouyang." "Good. Longao, you can rest assured. Even if you kill Miao He, the Miao family won't find trouble with you. It's even better if they don't find trouble with your family. Before you came, I thought about it. From now on, you will officially join the National Guard Hall as a member of the National Guard. Imperial Father, shouldn't we consider this matter at length?" Hearing his Imperial Father's decision, Ouyang Fei was shocked. It wasn't because he didn't want Longao to join the National Guard Hall. It was because the National Guard Hall's National Guard Hall was basically an evolved warrior. There had never been a one-line sky warrior that joined the National Guard Hall to become a National Guard. Waving his hand, Ouyang Fei said, "I've made up my mind. Longao, the National Guard Hall of the Star Cloud Kingdom is the strongest force in the kingdom. It's also the pillar of the kingdom. I hope you can join the National Guard Hall and display your strength." Chapter 62. National Guard Hall. Although Longao didn't know what the National Guard Hall was, he knew that it wasn't simple. "Uncle Ouyang, how am I qualified to enter the National Guard Hall?" "Longao, believe in yourself. Don't worry, the National Guard Hall won't restrict your freedom. As long as the kingdom is in trouble, you can appear in time. Brother Long, promise father." In Longao's heart, he really didn't want to enter the National Guard Hall. But after thinking about it, as long as the National Guard Hall didn't restrict his freedom, then there was no harm in entering. "In that case, thank you very much, Uncle Ouyang." Ouyang Fei looked very happy. Then, the two chatted for a while. Longao got up and left. "Father, Longao's talent and potential are very good. But with his current strength, if he enters the National Guard Hall, I'm afraid that the other Imperial protectors will be very dissatisfied. At that time, he will be in a lot of trouble." Ouyang Feng only smiled at the worry on his son's face and said, "Longao is still young. Without experience, he won't be able to grow. Maybe this person will be the future of our kingdom. Feng, you must make friends with this person." "Yes, father." After leaving the side chamber, Longao didn't want to stay in the Imperial Palace any longer. At this time, two girls came out from the side. The girl walking in front was wearing a light purple dress. Her delicate facial features matched with an excellent figure. She stood there without smiling. She was a beauty through and through. Longao. Hearing her call his name, Longao was very surprised. He asked, "Who are you? How dare you not kneel down when you see Princess Xixia?" "Princess Xixia?" Longao was very surprised. Looking at the beautiful girl in front of him, he didn't think that this girl was Princess Xixia. She was the princess who killed the geniuses for the Imperial family. Longao didn't have a good impression of this Princess Xixia. He indifferently asked, "What is the matter with Princess Xixia?" Seeing the other party's ice-cold and distant expression, Ouyang Xixia was very surprised. Because of her status and beauty, as long as it was a man, they would all look at her with a pitiful expression, wanting nothing more than to kneel down. "Nothing, I just wanted to get to know you. Now that we know each other, I'm sorry, but I have something important to do, so I'll take my leave first." Looking at the youth who was quickly leaving, Ouyang Xixia's face was filled with indifference. Both of her fists were tightly clenched. Suddenly, Ouyang Xixia sneered and said to herself, truly arrogant, "Longao, you just wait for this princess. In the future, I will make you kneel in front of me and beg me." Longao did not return to the inn after leaving the Imperial Palace as fast as he could. Instead, he headed straight for the rank 5 Long family. Long Ying was nervous too. After all, this was a matter of life and death for his family. If this was leaked out, not only him, but the entire family would be destroyed. The 3 people who entered the Dragon Valley were Long Ji from the Long family, Long Ming, and Long Ao. As for Long Ming, he was an evolved warrior and ranked 70th on the 100 battle ranking. One could imagine how powerful and talented Long Ming was. According to Long Ying, the cultivation of the people who entered the Dragon Valley could not be higher than the evolutionary level. Moreover, among the three people, there could only be one evolutionary level martial artist. Otherwise, if all three evolutionary level martial artists entered the Dragon Valley, they would be discovered by the Dragon Valley immediately. Rank 5 Long family, in an extremely secluded secret room. Long Ying opened the Dragon Valley passage and said in a serious voice, "This time, the three of you entered the Dragon Valley. Whether you live or die has nothing to do with the family. Remember, if you are discovered by the Dragon Valley, you will bear the consequences." Hearing Long Ying's words, Longao was very unhappy. However, he knew clearly that this was the cruel reality. This Dragon Valley passage can only be maintained for a month. After a month, if you are unable to return successfully, you will have to stay in the Dragon Valley forever. From then on, this passage will be completely sealed and no one will be able to open it. The three of you are on your own. Let's go. Long Ji, Long Ming, and Longao did not continue to hesitate. Although entering the Dragon Valley was dangerous, it was also full of opportunities. Once they successfully found a partner, they could become a dragon warrior and soar to the sky. Looking at the black passage in front of him, Long Ying seemed to be looking forward to it. After all, if the family could produce a dragon warrior, the family would have a chance to become a rank 3 Long family in the future. What kind of concept was this? In the Black Passage. The Black Passage was actually a large-scale teleportation array. It was created by a super genius of the Long clan in the past. He had used a great divine ability to forcefully open up a space and set up a teleportation array. It was extremely far away, and it would only take about an hour to reach it. As for the teleportation, the three of them did not know what was going on. But the three of them who entered the Black Passage could only wait quietly for the teleportation. They only felt a wave of aura spreading in all directions, as if they were riding on clouds. Red Fire Town's Long family's top genius 10 years ago. For some reason, he could not condense his inner strength and was reduced from a genius to a useless person. He endured all kinds of humiliation and ridicule. He persevered for 10 whole years and did not give up. A few months ago, he suddenly rose up. Along the way, it was hard to believe. Now, he is 78th on the 100 battle ranking. Listening to Long Ji's narration, Longao did not speak. Long Ming, who was born arrogant, always had an expression of a giant thousands of miles away. He said coldly, "Longao, I look forward to the day you break through to the evolution realm. At that time, I will officially challenge you. I hope you won't disappoint me." Okay. Longao did not retreat because the other party was an evolution realm expert. A strong fighting spirit also rose from his body, causing Long Ji to stick out his tongue and stay by the side obediently, not daring to say anything. Among the three of them, the strongest was undoubtedly Long Ming. Next was Longao, and last was Long Ji. Half an hour later, the three of them had already appeared in a huge forest. The three of them knew very well that they had arrived at their destination, which was the so-called Dragon Valley. Purple-winged dragon. Hearing Long Ji's exclamation, Longao and Long Ming looked over. It was true. Above the 9th heaven, a huge purple dragon that was more than 10 meters long flew past. It covered the sky and the sun, and a powerful dragon's breath came from all directions. If the three of them had not blocked it in time, they believed that just this dragon's breath alone would have been enough to crush them to death. What a terrifying dragon! Giant dragons were the most powerful existence in the world. Long family could become the top existence in the continent. 80% of the reason why Long family could become the top existence in the continent was because the Long family had the Dragon Valley as their backing. Moreover, there was an endless stream of dragon warriors. This was also the real reason why the Long family had never declined for countless years. Second brother, Longao, should we split up now or work together? Chapter 63. The Dragon Valley is too mysterious and powerful for us. For safety's sake, I suggest we move together. I have no problem with that. The three of them quickly reached a consensus. They did not dare to stay in the same place for too long. Out of the 4 directions, the three of them chose to head east. The Dragon Valley was the most powerful existence in the world. The Dragon Valley was also the most mysterious place in the mainland. The three of them had never thought that they would be able to enter the Dragon Valley. It would be a lie to say that they were not excited. However, the three of them knew that entering the Dragon Valley this time was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them. If they grasped it, they would be able to soar into the sky once they succeeded. Not only would they become dragon warriors, but they would also pave the way for their future. If they did not grasp it, they would not be able to become dragon warriors, let alone become dragon warriors in the future. There would only be one outcome, and that was to die in the Dragon Valley. The Dragon Valley only allowed disciples of the Long family who were 3rd level and above. They could only enter the Dragon Valley with permission. Once they were found out that they had entered the Dragon Valley, they believed that neither the Dragon Valley nor the Long family would let them off easily. It was because of this that the three of them were extremely careful. They were even more alert as they walked forward step by step, afraid that they would meet with danger and die in the Dragon Valley. Longao, Longji, listen carefully. When we enter the Dragon Valley this time, try not to provoke the giant dragons, even if they are small dragons. There is only one thing we need to do, and that is to find the dragon eggs. Longji did not seem to understand and asked, "Second brother, aren't we entering the Dragon Valley to find a partner and become dragon warriors?" "No, even if we can find a suitable partner, we will be discovered by the Dragon Valley and the high-level Long family sooner or later. So we must find the dragon eggs. Only then can we be safe." Dragon eggs. Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew that it was easier said than done to find a suitable dragon egg. However, he also knew that Longming was right. Longji and Longao did not say anything, but their expressions were slightly serious. Just like that, the three of them began to search for the dragon eggs aimlessly. As for the Dragon Valley, it was simply too big. It could be said that it was boundless. At a glance, there were dense forests everywhere. Boom! Sensing that the entire ground was trembling, the three of them were shocked. At this moment, not far away in the 9 heavens, 2 gigantic dragons were engaged in a frenzied battle. Thunder Dragon, Earth-shattering Dragon. Longming, could it be that the dragons in the Dragon Valley also have different levels? Nodding, Longming said, "Of course. There are countless dragons in the Dragon Valley. There are earth dragons, gold dragons, thunder dragons, red dragons, blue dragons, and so on. These dragons are divided into different levels and have a strict hierarchy. As for how they are divided, I don't know." Dragons were indeed the strongest existences in the world. Just the battle between the 2 dragons in the 9 heavens was enough to shock the world. Longao had a feeling that both the Thunder Dragon and the Earth Splitter Dragon were powerful enough to destroy the entire Starcloud Kingdom. It was no wonder that the Long family could dominate the continent. Setting aside the foundation and power of the Long family, just the Dragon Valley alone was enough to dominate the world. "Second brother, let's leave quickly." The aura of the battle between the 2 dragons was enough to crush them to death. Longji naturally did not want to die here. Fear was written all over his face. Of course, Longming would not stay either. "Longao, let's go. You guys go first. I want to continue watching the battle between the 2 dragons." "What did you say?" Hearing Longao's words, the 2 of them looked like they had seen a ghost. Surprise was written all over their faces. He wanted to watch the battle between the 2 dragons. Was the other party crazy? Longji said, "The fish in the moat are implicated. We entered the Dragon Valley this time to look for companions, not to watch the dragons fight. Let's go." Waving his hand, Longao did not say anything. His eyes were focused on the battle between the 2 dragons in the 9 heavens. Longji seemed to want to say something, but Longming said coldly, "Since he insists on staying, let's not force him." "Longji, let's go." Cerebral palsy. Ignoring Longji and Longming's departure, Longao focused on the battle between the 2 dragons in the 9 heavens. This was because he found that the battle between the two dragons could be integrated into his moves. This way, whether it was the mysterious heavenly finger or the blood-drinking 8 styles, their power would increase. Boom! The aura of the two dragons spread in all directions. The terrifying aura pressed down on them from all directions. Longao did not dare to be careless and immediately dodged. But in the end, he was still affected by the aura. With a muffled groan, his body flew out. In midair, he forcefully flipped over and stopped. A trace of blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth. What a powerful aura! Not daring to stay any longer, Longao turned and left quickly. In the shortest amount of time, Longao caught up with the two of them. But at this time, a terrifying aura pressed down on them from behind. The three of them turned around and were shocked. Longao, what have you done? Without giving the three of them any chance to speak, the two dragons began to attack the three of them crazily with endless anger. Just the aura of the powerful dragons was enough to crush the three of them to death. The three of them were well aware of this. Plop, plop, plop. The three of them were directly suppressed by the powerful aura released by the two dragons and fell into a black hole. They did not even have time to scream before they fainted. After some time, the three of them gradually woke up. Longji let out a scream and scolded fiercely, "Longao, if you continue like this, I'll F***king kill you." "Just you? Alright, let's talk about this later. We survived this disaster. I hope we can find the dragon eggs later." Long Ming's eyes stared straight in front of him. He even made the sound of drooling. Longao and Longji were very confused. They did not know what was wrong with Long Ming now. The two of them followed Long Ming's gaze and were completely stunned. Not far in front of the three of them, there were 2 dragon eggs the size of rubber balls. Dragon eggs. The main reason they entered the Dragon Valley this time was to find the dragon eggs and become dragon warriors. Now that they finally saw 2 dragon eggs, how could the three of them not be excited? The three of them immediately became vigilant. There were only 2 dragon eggs in the cave, but there were 3 of them. In other words, among the 3 of them, it was destined that none of them would be able to get the dragon eggs. But who would be willing to give up? It was likely that none of the 3 of them would be willing to give up the dragon eggs. It was because of this that Longji, Long Ming, and Longao suddenly moved. They rushed out as fast as they could. Not only that, Longji and Long Ming joined forces and slapped at Longao ruthlessly. Their intention was very simple. They wanted to take the 2 dragon eggs for themselves. Chapter 64. Longji and Long Ming came from the same family. If it was just 1 dragon egg, the 2 of them might have turned hostile. But now that there were 2 dragon eggs, the result could be imagined. Of course, Longao would not let go of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Once he obtained the dragon egg, he had an 80% chance of gaining the approval of the dragon egg and could become a dragon warrior in the future. Tianwu Continent. Everyone knew that although the giant dragon was extremely powerful, the dragon egg did not have any attack power. It was extremely difficult to successfully gain the approval of the giant dragon. Only obtaining the approval of the dragon egg was the easiest. Before they obtained the dragon egg, the 3 of them were already fighting. 1 against 2, Longao's strength could not win against the 2 of them. Even if he wasn't a match for the other party, Longao still risked his life to fight against the 2 of them. His speed was even faster than the 2 of them. He directly picked up a dragon egg on the ground and retreated, leaving the remaining dragon egg for the 2 of them. Longji and Long Ming's expressions were extremely ugly. Long Ming picked up the only dragon egg on the ground and said coldly, "Longao, there are many opportunities to obtain the dragon egg. I hope that you will hand over the dragon egg in your hand and I will let bygones be bygones." Long Ming and Longji were not fools. Of course, they knew the importance of the dragon egg. Who knew if they would be able to obtain another dragon egg after losing this opportunity? Longao, quickly hand over the dragon egg. Longji wanted to snatch it, but he knew very well that with his strength, he was no match for the other party. However, with his second brother by his side, he had full confidence. "Hand over the dragon egg." Looking coldly at the two of them, Longao's face was filled with disdain. Without wasting any time, he dripped a drop of his blood essence onto the dragon egg. Longao, you're courting death. Long Ming and Long Ji were shocked when they saw the other party dripping his blood essence on the dragon egg. Because once the blood essence was absorbed by the dragon egg, unless Longao died, the dragon egg would belong to Longao. It would be useless even if they obtained it. Long Ji, Long Ming, I still advise you not to act rashly. Otherwise, if we start a war, what are the chances of you keeping the dragon eggs in your hands? Their faces were extremely gloomy as they stared at each other. However, they did not dare to act rashly. Just as the other party had said, once they fought, they did not have full confidence that they would be able to keep the dragon egg in their hands. However, they were unwilling to lose the dragon egg for nothing. Second brother, I want that dragon egg. Waving his hand, Long Ming seemed to be a little worried as well. He immediately dripped his blood essence onto the dragon egg. Only then was he truly relieved. Longao, are you really that stupid or just pretending to be stupid? You're only following us into the Dragon Valley to assist us. Do you really want to obtain the dragon egg? I don't know. I only know one thing. Senior Long Ying didn't restrict me from entering the Dragon Valley. Of the 2 dragon eggs, I gave you 1. That's already the best I can do. Don't push your luck. Be careful not to lose the watermelon after picking up the sesame. Ha ha ha. Hearing this, Long Ming laughed wildly. His laughter was filled with contempt, as if he had heard the funniest thing in the world. Catcher, catcher. At this moment, the dragon eggs in Long Ming and Long Ao's hands began to crack slowly. Seeing this situation, both of them were pleasantly surprised. As for Long Ji, his face was gloomy. After all, the 3 of them had entered the Dragon Valley together and he was the only one who did not obtain the dragon egg. He could only watch as the dragon eggs in their hands slowly cracked and they were about to have a baby dragon. In less than 3 minutes, the dragon eggs in their hands had completely fallen off. The little thing inside was also slowly wriggling out. The head was like a camel, the eyes were like a ghost, the ears were like a cow, the horns were like a deer, the neck was like a snake, the belly was like a snake, the scales were like a carp, the claws were like an eagle, the palms were like a tiger, and the body was covered in scales. This was a giant dragon. Looking at the fiery red giant dragon in his hands, Long Ming was extremely surprised. He almost exclaimed, "It's a fire dragon. Ha ha ha, fire dragon. I finally have a fire dragon as my companion. I will definitely become a fire dragon warrior in the future." Looking at the dragon egg in the other party's hands, Long Ao was also extremely surprised that a fire dragon had hatched from it. This was because the fire dragon was considered a powerful race in the Dragon Valley. However, at this moment, Long Ao's face was filled with depression and helplessness. What was this? Looking at the little fellow that had just hatched in his hands, not to mention Long Ao, even Long Ji and Long Ming did not seem to have expected it. Suddenly, Long Ji and Long Ming burst into laughter. Their laughter was filled with ridicule. Long Ming's fire dragon had a camel's head, eyes like a ghost, ears like a cow, horns like a deer, neck like a snake, belly like a snake, scales like a carp, claws like an eagle, palms like a tiger, and its body was covered in scales. However, looking at the so-called dragon in Long Ao's hands, it was only a pure black small snake. That's right, it was indeed a small snake. I'm dying of laughter. Damn it, it's not a giant dragon. Let me see, what is this? It looks like a snake. Second brother, you're right. It's a small snake. Seeing that the dragon egg in the other party's hands did not hatch a giant dragon, but a small snake, Longji finally felt better. Ignoring the ridicule and contempt of the 2 people, Long Ao looked at the small snake in his hands and was speechless to the extreme. He really could not understand why the other party had hatched a fire dragon, but he had hatched a small snake. Small snake. If he wanted to get a small snake, there was no need to enter the Dragon Valley and risk his life. He could find small snakes everywhere outside. Throw it away. He did not know why, but looking at the small snake wriggling in his hands, Long Ao felt as if his heart was connected. It was as if he was looking at himself for 10 years. The small snake would probably be ridiculed and despised endlessly in this huge dragon valley. Since you and I are fated to be together, then we will stay together from now on. So what if it's a small snake? I will definitely protect you well. Gently stroking the small snake in his hands, Longao's face was only filled with doting and persistence. Looking at Longao, Longji, and Longming were completely dumbfounded. They thought that the other party's brain was damaged. He clearly knew that the snake in his hands was not a giant dragon, but just a small snake. Why did he not throw it away? It looked like he still wanted to rely on each other. Longao, because of your shameless behavior just now, from now on, we will officially part ways. But remember, don't come and fight with us for the dragon egg. Otherwise, you will die a horrible death. With just the two of you. Of course, Longao would not continue to walk with the two of them. Not to mention now, even before, he was always vigilant. Who knew if the two of them would suddenly attack him? Although he was afraid of Longming's strength, Longao was not afraid. At most, he would fight. Even if he was not the other party's match, he could still leave smoothly. Chapter 65. Roar. At this moment, the entire cave began to tremble. A terrifying fire attribute aura suppressed them from all directions. Hearing the dragon's roar, the trio's expressions changed. They seemed to know what had happened. After all, there were dragon eggs in this cave, which meant that there was a dragon guarding the cave. Now that the three of them had taken away the dragon eggs, would the dragon let them go? Not daring to stay any longer, the three of them turned and prepared to leave. Until now, the three of them had not found the exit. The dragon's roar was getting closer and closer, and the cave seemed like it would collapse at any time. Second brother, the exit is there. Without Longji's reminder, Longao and Longming had already rushed out. Both of them wanted to leave the cave as soon as possible and fought fiercely. Evolutionarists were ultimately evolutionarists, and their powerful auras avoided each other ruthlessly. Longming left quickly with Longji, but Longao was still a step too slow. Just as Longao arrived at the cave entrance, he was ruthlessly suppressed by Longming's powerful aura. He roared angrily, "Longji, Longming, I, Longao, will definitely kill you. Ha ha ha, you can enjoy it with your little snake." Longji and Longming laughed wildly as they left, causing Longao to no longer have the chance to leave. This was because in front of the cave entrance, a huge fire dragon had appeared unknowingly. It stared at him coldly, and its body was emitting a terrifying power of fire. Longao swallowed his saliva. No matter how confident he was in himself, he would not be arrogant enough to fight against the fire dragon. Longao was not a fool. He knew very well that the two dragon eggs he and Longming had obtained were the children of the fire dragon in front of him. Although he did not know why his dragon eggs did not hatch a little dragon, but a little snake. The blood-sucking blade had already appeared in his hand. Although he knew that he was no match for the other party, Longao would not sit still and let the fire dragon kill him. The fire dragon looked at the two dragon eggs that it had lost and became even angrier. However, it did not attack immediately. Instead, it stared fixedly at the little snake in Longao's hand, a trace of affection in its eyes. "Human, you actually fused your life essence blood into my child's body?" Hearing the fire dragon speak, Longao was completely dumbfounded. He stood there, dumbfounded. He had no idea what was going on. Why was the fire dragon able to speak? As far as Rang knew, no matter what kind of spirit beast it was impossible for it to speak. "Human, you're courting death." Hey! The bloodline of the Long family? The bloodline of the Long family? Hearing Huolong's words, Longao was overjoyed. He immediately said, "Senior Huolong, I am Longao, a disciple of Red Fire Town's Long family. I accidentally entered Dragon Valley and was chased by Senior Lei Long. Unfortunately, I fell into a cave and saw your child. So, I want to become friends with your child." Hearing that this person was a disciple of the dragon family, Huolong's killing intent lessened. However, he was still infuriated and said furiously, "I only have one child, and the child in your hands doesn't belong to me. Seeing that you're quite honest and are a disciple of the dragon family, I'll spare you from death, but you can't escape punishment. Break one of your arms, put down the little dragon in your hand, and you can leave. Sever my own arm? Why should I? Because you trespassed into my cave. If it weren't for your ancestors, do you think you can leave here today? Longao glared at Huolong. Of course, he wouldn't agree to break his own arm. As for the little dragon in his hand, since it wasn't Huolong's child, he wasn't wrong. As the saying goes, every man for himself. He entered Dragon Valley and risked his life to obtain the dragon egg so that he could become a dragon warrior in the future. Senior Huolong, although we didn't ask for your permission this time and fused our blood essence into your child, your method is a little too much. Forgive me for not following your example. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave first. Longao couldn't be bothered to say anything to the unreasonable Huolong. How dare you? You're courting death. Suddenly, a terrifying power of fire erupted from the fire dragon's body, and it suppressed down from the sky. Longao didn't dare to be careless, but at this moment, he felt that an even more terrifying dragon breath suddenly poured into his dantian. Longao didn't know what was going on and fainted. Following that, a medium-sized black seal appeared in the cave. Then, a terrifying dragon roar rang out in the cave and the entire Dragon Valley. All the dragons who heard the dragon roar were shocked. They stood rooted to the ground and knelt down in the direction of the dragon roar. Inside the cave, looking at the huge dragon shadow that suddenly appeared in front of it, Huolong trembled and knelt on the ground in fear. It even asked in disbelief, "Are you really the divine dragon ancestor?" The terrifying dragon aura pressed down, and Huolong couldn't resist at all. It lowered its head and trembled in fear. Longao will be the master of Dragon Valley from now on. Not only are you not to hurt him, you have to protect him at all times. If anything happens to Longao, all of you will die. Got it? The huge dragon shadow continued to dance in the cave. It coldly glanced at the clansman in front of it. With a turn of its body, it disappeared and returned to the dragon seal space. The dragon seal also returned to Longao's dantian. If it wasn't for the dragon seal space and the sudden appearance of the dragon shadow, just the current Longao alone would have died who knows how many times. However, at this moment, the fire dragon didn't dare to act blindly without thinking. It still stood on the spot in fear and didn't even dare to move. Time passed by bit by bit. After an unknown amount of time, Longao finally woke up. He had a splitting headache. He did not know what had happened at all. He seemed to have remembered what had happened. He propped himself up from the ground and stared at the fire dragon in front of him. However, everything that had happened before his eyes was really unbelievable. "Senior Huolong, what are you doing?" Huolong looked at Huolong, who was kneeling in front of him, trembling in fear. Why? Was Huolong afraid of him? Even if he told others, no one would believe him. "Longao, you will be the master of Dragon Valley from now on. Not only me, but all the other tribe members will treat you as their master." Master of Dragon Valley? How did he suddenly become the master of Dragon Valley? Longao was completely stunned because he could not understand how he had become the master of the Dragon Valley after he had fainted and woke up. Not to mention him, no matter who it was, they would not be able to accept such a fact. After all, the Dragon Valley was the most powerful existence in the continent. Once he became the master of the Dragon Valley, wouldn't he be able to call the wind and summon the rain? It would be a lie to say that he wasn't excited about becoming the master of Dragon Valley. Chapter 66. Longao wasn't a fool. Of course, he wouldn't believe that a pie would fall from the sky. "Senior Huolong, what's going on?" Just as Huolong was about to speak, a voice suddenly sounded in his mind. "Longao, you can't know about this yet. In the future, you can enter the Dragon Valley openly with your own strength. That's when you'll be able to fight for the Dragon Valley. So, you'd better go back and train hard." Longao was completely confused. Huolong said that he was the master of the Dragon Valley, and then he said that he wasn't qualified to fight for the Dragon Valley in the future. What was going on? Without thinking about it, Longao asked, "Senior Huolong, can I leave now?" The thing that Longao was most concerned about was whether he could leave. After all, if Huolong insisted on killing him, he wouldn't even have the chance to fight back. Sure. Longao, I'll say the same thing again. Work hard in your cultivation. When you step into the Dragon Valley, it will be the day you fight for the Dragon Valley. Moreover, the origin of this little fellow that you have just obtained is not simple. Senior Huolong, before I leave, I'd like to ask if the little guy I just fused with is a giant dragon. Although Longao didn't care about the little guy's identity, he still wanted to ask if the little guy was a member of the dragon tribe. Longao, I won't hide it from you. Just 3 days ago, I picked up this dragon egg in the Dragon Valley. At that time, I took in this dragon egg out of compassion. Longao looked at the sleeping little guy in his hand with a doting look on his face. Longao, don't worry. I can tell you clearly now that this little guy is definitely a member of the dragon tribe. Although I don't know why it was abandoned, I'm sure that this little guy is a mutated divine dragon. As long as it grows up, it will definitely become a very powerful existence. Mutated divine dragon? Longao didn't ask any more questions. After bidding farewell to Huolong, he left the cave. In the Dragon Valley, Longao had already successfully obtained the dragon egg, which could be considered as gaining the acknowledgement of the giant dragon. As long as the little fellow grew up in the future, he would be able to become a dragon warrior. Therefore, there was no point in staying here. Before he entered the Dragon Valley, Longying had told him that every disciple of the dragon family could obtain a giant dragon as a companion. Once you gained the recognition of a giant dragon, you would never be able to become a dragon warrior with another giant dragon unless you died. Perhaps it was a small world, but just as Longao was about to leave the Dragon Valley, he met Longji and Longming. The relationship between the three of them was different now. Even if Longao did not get a dragon egg but a so-called snake egg, Longji and Longming already treated him as an enemy. Once they had the chance, they would not hold back at all. Longao, you have already lost the chance to become a dragon warrior. I advise you to leave the Dragon Valley. Otherwise, you will regret it. With just you. Longao looked down on the two people in front of him. He really couldn't understand. The Dragon Valley was so big and there was definitely more than one dragon egg. If that was the case, why did Longji and Longming insist on not letting him go? At the end of the day, the two of them still looked down on him and looked down on him for coming from a small family. Longao, don't think that you are invincible. I will tell you clearly now that if I want to kill you, I can do it in a matter of minutes. The reason why I didn't kill you is because of the family head, so you better not provoke me. With that, Longji and Longming turned and left. Longming had already obtained Huolong. As long as he hid this matter, he could successfully become a dragon warrior. However, Longji did not get the dragon egg, so the two of them would not leave the Dragon Valley for the time being, unless the passage closed a month later. Longao looked at the two of them coldly. He was about to leave the Dragon Valley, but he changed his mind and followed the two of them. He wanted to see if the two of them could obtain other dragon eggs. Second brother, your luck is really good. You've only been in the Dragon Valley for less than 2 hours, and you've already successfully obtained a dragon egg. I wonder if I'll have a chance to obtain a dragon egg this time. I don't need a fire dragon. Even the lowest level giant dragon will do. Longji was not a fool. Of course he knew that every dragon was the strongest existence in the world. Even if he obtained the lowest level dragon, he could still become a dragon warrior and soar into the sky. We still have a month. Since we can obtain a dragon egg, I believe we can obtain a second and third one. At that time, as long as we bring the dragon egg back to the family, we will be the family's heroes. Longji would not care about the family. He only hoped that he could obtain a dragon egg and become a powerful dragon warrior in the future. Second brother, what should I do if we are unlucky and can't get the dragon egg? What can you do? Continue to cultivate well in the future. Remember, you don't have to become a dragon warrior to reach the peak of martial arts. He cursed in his heart, but said indifferently, Second brother, if you obtain the dragon egg, you will definitely become a dragon warrior in the future. If outsiders find out about this, or if the other Long family finds out, I don't know what will happen. Long Ming was not a fool. Of course he knew that Longji's words had a hidden meaning. Was he threatening him? Don't think too much. In the coming days, I will do my best to help you find the dragon egg. Once 2 dragon warriors appear in our Long family, we will definitely be able to advance to a 3rd level Long family in the future. Longji was still very worried, but he had no other choice. Although he had threatened him a little just now, he would definitely not dare to do it. He did not know if it was on purpose, but Long Ming slowed down unintentionally, allowing Longji to walk in front of him. Crack! There was a soft sound. Longji looked at the sharp sword that was inserted from behind, his face filled with disbelief. He turned his head with difficulty and stared fixedly at Long Ming, who was right in front of him. He said in disbelief, "Second brother, why?" With a ruthless expression, Long Ming said fiercely, "Damn it, I wanted to help you find a dragon egg so that you can also become a dragon warrior. But you bastard, how dare you threaten me? Who do you think you are to threaten me? Second brother, I was just joking just now. I wouldn't dare. I don't believe it. I only believe in dead people. Only when you are dead will I completely hide the fact that I obtained the dragon egg. Remember, your death is to help second brother. Second brother is very grateful to you. Don't worry, not only you, even if I obtain other dragon eggs, I will destroy them. I am the only one in the family who can obtain the dragon egg and become a dragon warrior." Long Ming was very ambitious and selfish. "I can't accept it. I really can't accept it. Long Ming, even if I die, I will not let you off as a ghost." Chapter 67. With his last bit of unwillingness, Longji fell to the ground in the end. "No one can stop me from becoming a dragon martial artist. Longji, your death can fulfill my wish. So don't blame second brother." Clap, clap. Longao clapped his hands and walked out slowly from the back. He looked at the other party with disdain and said coldly, "You would even kill your own brother. You are really unscrupulous." Long Ming was not surprised at all as he said indifferently, "Every man for himself. Once the news of me getting the dragon egg spreads, I believe you should know better than me what the consequences will be. Long Ming, I am curious. Since you are afraid that this will spread and killed Longji, aren't you afraid that I will expose this? Longao, are you really stupid or are you pretending to be stupid? Do you really think that you can continue to live?" What did this mean? Shaking his head with a smile, Long Ming said, "I'm not afraid to tell you that the reason why the master gave you a slot to enter the Dragon Valley is because he saw your potential. No matter whether you get the dragon egg or not, you will die when you leave the Dragon Valley. If that's the case, why should I do this?" So that was it. All this while, Long Ao could not understand why Long Ying would choose him to enter the Dragon Valley. After all, the slots were too precious. There were so many talented disciples in the level 5 dragon family. Why did he choose him? It seemed like Long Ming was right. The reason why Long Ying looked for him this time was not because he wanted him to get the dragon egg and become a dragon martial artist. What he really valued was his potential and luck. Sometimes, luck played a large part in whether one could succeed in something. To Long Ying, the reason why he could achieve so much in just a few months was because of his potential and talent. The biggest reason was still his luck. That was why he gave him a slot to enter the Dragon Valley. It seemed like if he got the dragon egg and left the Dragon Valley, not only would the dragon egg be snatched away, he would also be killed by Long Ying. If he did not get the dragon egg, the result would be the same. Level 5 Dragon Family. What a cruel reality. Long Ao had already gotten used to this man-eat-man world. After all, it was better to rely on oneself than on others. No matter what, he had chosen to enter the Dragon Valley. Therefore, he could not blame others. Long Ao, are you scared? Long Ming, don't think that you've won. If I leave the Dragon Valley and tell everyone about you, think about it. What will you do? Hearing this, Long Ming's expression immediately turned cold and he asked coldly, "Are you threatening me?" Haha, I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you that not everyone is as shameless as you. I'm telling you clearly that I won't leave the Dragon Valley. I'll return to your family. I'd like to see how they'll deal with me. Do you think you have a chance? Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew what the other party meant. The blood-sucking blade had already appeared in his hand. He was very afraid of Long Ming. No matter what, the other party was an expert in evolution. Ha ha ha, Longao, you are really arrogant to the extreme. Do you really think that you are my opponent? Fight. It was just a simple word. Fight. It had already expressed Longao's intention. Just like that, Longao and Long Ming looked at each other. A strong fighting spirit rose from their bodies at the same time and intertwined with each other. As a genius disciple of the Long family, Long Ming was not only talented, but also worked hard and had extraordinary strength. I will tear you into pieces. With that said, Long Ming's body had already jumped out. Longao turned sideways and came in front of Long Ji. He first took the other party's soul and then slashed out fiercely with the blood-sucking blade in his hand. After summoning the soul servant, the man and the soul servant fought Long Ming. But even so, Long Ming was still in the evolution realm. It was almost an extremely difficult thing to defeat Long Ming. After taking away Long Ji's soul, Longao did not plan to let Long Fu continue to refine soul servants. This was because he had already thought it through. Unless he could kill the soul of a martial artist above the evolution realm, the souls of all the martial artists in One Line Sky and 100 Scatter Sky would all enter the blood pool and be refined into pure energy for him. The first style of the blood-sucking 8 styles was the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. The second style was the heart-devouring Ice Seal. One move after another, each move stronger than the previous. Ha ha ha, Longao, I have to admit that with your strength, you are already an invincible existence in the One Line Sky realm. But the difference between the One Line Sky and the evolution realm is not something you can imagine. I will now let you feel the power of an evolution realm martial artist. The number 1 martial artist in One Line Sky, the strongest martial artist below the evolution realm. But One Line Sky was still One Line Sky. In Long Ming's opinion, no matter how strong the other party was, compared to him, they were not on the same level. It was precisely because of this that Long Ming's body suddenly emitted a powerful aura, which was the unique power of an evolution realm martial artist. Just based on aura alone, a One Line Sky martial artist was no match for an evolution realm martial artist. But what happened next completely shocked Long Ming, as if he had seen a ghost. Aura. You actually condensed aura? It was hard to believe that the other party could condense his own aura at the One Line Sky realm. There were martial artists in One Line Sky who had successfully condensed aura, but they were all geniuses. Long Ming admired the other party's talent, but he never thought that the other party's talent would be so strong. It was precisely because of this that the murderous intent in Long Ming's heart became even stronger. He had already secretly made up his mind that no matter what happened, he would kill the other party. Because he could not guarantee how far the other party would grow if he continued to grow. Aura. Even if a One Line Sky martial artist could condense aura, it was completely different from the aura possessed by an evolution realm martial artist. Just like this, Longao was firmly suppressed by the other party. Even a soul servant could not get close to the other party's body. If this continued, not to mention killing the other party, whether he could leave the Dragon Valley alive would be the biggest problem. Die. Seeing the other party's sword coming at him, Longao did not dare to face it head-on. He retreated and landed 3 meters away. A wise man does not fight when the odds are against him. The other party's strength was too strong. It was almost impossible to defeat the other party at this time. Longao did not continue to stay and quickly turned to leave. Long Ming did not chase after him. He coldly looked at the figure that had already disappeared and suddenly laughed. His laughter was filled with disdain and contempt. He scolded, "Trash will always be trash. Just you wait. When I become a dragon martial artist, I will definitely kill you." He came in front of Long Ji and coldly looked at the corpse on the ground. Without the slightest brotherhood, he said, "Don't blame me. You asked for it." Chapter 68. Dragon Valley. In a very secluded cave. Long Fu, The mysterious heavenly finger produced by the mysterious heavenly 9 transformations doesn't seem to be suitable for me now. The mysterious heavenly finger was indeed very powerful. However, Longao discovered that although he had cultivated the mysterious heavenly finger to the mysterious heavenly 9 transformations, its power wasn't very great. According to the records of the 9 transformations technique, only when his mysterious heavenly 9 transformations reached the last transformation, which was the so-called 9th transformation, would he have the opportunity to enter the first transformation of the transformations technique. Master, I have already looked through all the martial skills. Although many of them are powerful, they are indeed not suitable for you. However, there is a martial skill that is extremely powerful. Every time you use it, it consumes a lot of energy. Delighted, Longao impatiently asked, Long Fu, what martial skill? Destruction Seal. Destruction Seal? Master, the Destruction Seal is one of the most powerful martial skills. There are a total of 18 seals. However, I can only teach you 4 seals now. Longao wasn't someone who bit off more than he could chew. Since Long Fu had already said that the Destruction Seal was one of the most powerful martial skills in the Dragon Seal space, it already explained the power of the Destruction Seal. Okay. Master, I will now teach you the first 4 seals of the Destruction Seal. Immediately after, the mental cultivation methods of the 4 seals appeared in Longao's mind. They were the Soul Suppressing Seal, Dark Burning Seal, Sky Burying Seal and Doomsday Seal. Although he hadn't cultivated it yet and had only slightly melted it, Longao was incomparably shocked. The Destruction Seal that Long Fu taught him was simply too powerful. It even surpassed the 8 styles of blood drinking. This was only the first 4 seals of the Destruction Seal. Longao found it hard to imagine how terrifying the remaining 14 seals would be. With such a powerful Destruction Seal, Longao naturally wouldn't give up this opportunity. He grasped every minute and second and immediately started to cultivate the first 4 seals of the Destruction Seal. The Soul Suppressing Seal, Dark Burning Seal, Sky Burying Seal and Doomsday Seal. Of the first 4 seals of the Destruction Seal, Longao knew that with his current strength, he could only cultivate the first seal, the Soul Suppressing Seal. The principle of the Soul Suppressing Seal was actually similar to the second move of the 8 styles of blood drinking, Ice Heart Devouring. However, the Soul Suppressing Seal's power was much more powerful. What would happen if a warrior's Soul Suppressing Seal? A month later. For an entire month, Longao did not leave the cave at all. He was fully focused on cultivating the Soul Suppressing Seal. Heaven does not disappoint those who persevere. After a month of cultivation, the Soul Suppressing Seal could also be considered to have a small achievement. With the help of the blood pool, Long Fu refined Long Ji's soul into the purest energy. After Longao absorbed this energy, his spirit energy had already filled 48 acupuncture points. He was still far from filling 108 acupuncture points with spirit energy. A month had passed, and the Dragon Valley Passage was about to close. Longao did not stay any longer, and quickly headed towards the passage. Star Cloud City, Level 5 Long Family's backyard. Longao, congratulations on obtaining the Dragon Eggs recognition. If there are no accidents, you can become a powerful dragon warrior in the future. Looking at Long Ying and Long Ming, Longao's heart was filled with disdain. However, his face was indifferent as he said, Senior Long Ying, I believe you should know that the dragon egg I obtained wasn't a dragon, but a small snake. Mutated divine dragon. Longao naturally wouldn't tell the truth about the little fellow he obtained. Once the other party knew that he didn't have a small snake, but a mutated divine dragon that was stronger than the fire dragon, he believed that the Long family wouldn't let him go. Long Ying obviously knew about this. His face suddenly darkened as he asked, Longao, let me ask you, how do I treat you? Yes. I gave you one of the 3 places to enter the Dragon Valley. I thought highly of you, but what about you? Let me ask you, did you kill Long Ji? Long Ji. Hearing Long Ying mention Long Ji, Longao already understood what had happened. He looked coldly at Long Ming, who was beside Long Ying, and asked, Did you say so? Long Ming laughed coldly and said, So what if I did? Longao, you ingrate. The head of the family was so good to you and gave you one of the 3 places to enter the Dragon Valley. What about you? Not only did you not feel grateful, you even killed Long Ji. Waving his hand, Long Ying stopped Long Ming from continuing. He said coldly, Longao, you killed Long Ji. I want to ask, how are you going to explain it to me? Senior Long Ying, what if I say that Long Ji wasn't killed by me, but by him? Ha ha ha. Long Ming suddenly laughed as if he had heard the funniest thing in the world. He said coldly, Longao, are you out of your mind? Why would I kill my brother? I always thought that you were still a man. Look at you now. Longao, between you and Long Ming, who do you think I will choose to believe? Looking deeply at Long Ying and Long Ming in front of him, Longao did not know if the 2 of them were deliberately looking for trouble or if it was Long Ming's scheme. However, Longao knew one thing very clearly. No matter what the reason was, the grudge between him and the 5th-rank Long family had been completely formed. Long Ying, I've already said that I didn't kill Long Ji. Since you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do. HMPH, Longao, you killed Long Ji. If I let you leave so easily, how am I going to answer to the family? Actually, Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew very well that Long Ying and Long Ming were doing this because they wanted to silence him. After all, in this world, only he knew about Long Ming. As long as he died, who else would know? This way, Long Ming would be able to grow smoothly and become a dragon martial artist in the future. Longao, you don't have to worry. I'll give you a chance now. As long as you can defeat Long Ming, I'll let you leave. Master, it seems that we are not very kind for a useless person to defeat me. How about this? Longao, I'll give you a chance. As long as you can force me out of this circle, you win. Long Ming was full of confidence. A month ago, he had scared the other party away. Just like that, Long Ming drew a huge circle around him. Long Ying seemed to be very confident as well. He retreated to the side and said, the Long family means what we say. Contempt. Contempt. Of course, Longao knew that in Long Ming's eyes, he had never taken him seriously. However, in order to leave the Long family smoothly, he could only choose to agree. As for why Long Ying did not make a move but wanted to do this, Longao also thought of it. If nothing went wrong, Long Ying should be afraid of the royal family. After all, his relationship with the royal family was there and he was a member of the National Guard Hall. Okay, I promise you. Chapter 69. Force. Longao and Long Ming exuded a powerful force at the same time and collided with each other. Sensing the force released by the other party, Long Ying's eyes were a little strange and a cold smile appeared on his lips. Because in his heart, he was full of confidence that Long Ming could kill Longao. The difference in strength between the One-Line Sky Realm and the Evolution Realm was very big. They were not on the same level at all. Longao, I will tear you into pieces today. The moment she finished speaking, Long Ming rushed out under the cover of his aura. He did not dare to be careless. The blood-sucking blade that suddenly appeared in his hand had already slashed out with the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes and heart-sealing ice. The double attack sealed all paths. The sword snake spat out mist. Long Ming dodged to the side and the sharp sword in his hand stabbed out at an ingenious angle. The blade and sword collided and the powerful aura collided. Longao was fiercely shaken away by the sword and took several steps back. Evolution Realm. Longao knew very well that if the force he possessed could be evolved with the help of the 108 acupuncture points, then the situation would be completely reversed. Strictly speaking, the reason why he could not defeat the other party was because of the strength of the force. The blood-sucking blade disappeared and Longao suddenly began to form seals with both hands. His hands condensed various seals at the fastest speed. It was the destruction seal that he had been cultivating for the past month. Long Fu had only taught him the first 4 seals of the destruction seal. The soul-suppressing seal, burning hell seal, heaven-burying seal, and doomsday seal. In this month, after painstaking cultivation, Longao had already achieved some success with the soul-suppressing seal. What kind of martial technique is this? Feeling the powerful aura emitted from the other party's hand, Long Ming's expression changed and his face was filled with disbelief. All along, Long Ming had thought that the difference in realms could not be made up for by anything. Even the martial techniques that warriors relied on to fight against their enemies could not make up for the difference in realms. Soul-suppressing seal. As soon as he said these words, the soul-suppressing seal, formed by Longao's hands, had already invaded Long Ming's body at an unbelievable speed. Impossible. He did not dare to continue attacking because Long Ming had already realized that the soul in his body was being suppressed by a terrifying aura and he was resisting the invasion of this aura with all his might. The soul-suppressing seal was the first seal of the annihilation seal. Although he knew that the soul-suppressing seal was very strong, Longao didn't know how strong it was until he actually fought it. Seeing that Long Ming was resisting the soul-suppressing seal with all his might, Longao was overjoyed. How could he give up this rare opportunity so easily? The blood-sucking blade in his hand instantly struck out with the first move, the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes, and the second move, the Frozen Heart Devouring. The 9 rays of light stacked on top of each other, together with the invasion of the aura, the chances of Long Ming surviving under the 3-pronged attack was almost zero. Enough! Long Ying roared and waved his hand gently. A terrifying power surged out like a tidal wave. Longao, who had already made up his mind to kill Long Ying, was almost killed by this terrifying power. Longao was shocked. Of course, he knew that Long Ying's strength was far above Long Ming's. Could it be that he was in the amalgamation realm or the consolidation realm? Longao, you can go. Remember, I hope you won't tell anyone about Long Ming being recognized by the dragon egg. Otherwise, even if my Long family is destroyed, I will drag your family down with me. You're on your own. Master. Long Ying waved his hand. Of course, he didn't want to let this person go. But when he thought of the royal family behind the young man, he could only sigh deeply. The 5th-level Long family was no match for the royal family. Once they provoked the royal family because of one person, it didn't seem worth it. No matter what your purpose is, I only want to tell you one thing. Don't provoke me, don't provoke my family. Otherwise, no matter what happens, I will take revenge and pay you back double. With that, Longao turned and left. Master, why did you let this person go? Forcefully suppressing the terrifying aura in his body, Long Ming was shocked to the extreme. Until now, he still couldn't accept that with his strength, he had lost to a one-line sky martial artist. Actually, in Long Ming's heart, there was still a deep fear. The other party could already defeat him now. What about in the future? When Longao's cultivation also broke through to the evolution realm, would he still have a foothold? Longao has already become a member of the royal family's National Guard Hall. Once we kill him, the royal family will definitely not let this matter rest. Don't worry, I won't let this person live. Long Ming seemed to understand the meaning of the master's words. He nodded and said, Master, I want to cultivate in seclusion for a year. Yes, I have already prepared a place for you. In this year, no one will come to disturb you. Remember, you are the future hope of the family. No matter what happens to the family, nothing can happen to you. Long Ying was not a fool. Of course, he knew Long Ming's importance now. Once he was recognized by the dragon egg and was a fire dragon, once he grew up, he would become a powerful dragon martial artist. This was undoubtedly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the Long family. After leaving the 5th-level Long family, Longao did not have time to rest properly before he was found by Ouyang Fei. Ouyang Fei looked very anxious. He went straight to the point and said, Brother Long, where have you been for the past month? I have been looking for you everywhere. It was so hard to find you. Big brother Ouyang, what's the matter? Yes, this is troublesome. Previously, you had already promised father to join the National Guard Hall as a member of the National Guard. According to your duties, you should have reported to the National Guard Hall a month ago. However, you disappeared for a month. Now, the National Guard Hall is very dissatisfied with you and seems to want to find trouble with you. Regarding this matter, Longao did not feel the slightest bit surprised. After all, The National Guard Hall of the Nebula royal family was filled with experts. The weakest one was only in the evolution realm. He was only a warrior in one-line sky. How could he be looked down upon by the National Guard Hall? Big Brother Ouyang, I know about this matter. Are you looking for me this time to report to the National Guard Hall? That's right. Go quickly. Shrugging his shoulders, Longao did not take this matter to heart. So what if he was a warrior in one-line sky? Following behind Ouyang Fei, Longao kept thinking about what happened in the Dragon Valley. After a while, the two entered the left side of the royal family. The entire north was the territory of the National Guard Hall. Under normal circumstances, no one would dare to step in unless it was the emperor. Even Ouyang Fei was not allowed to enter without permission. Big Brother Ouyang, are you really not going in? Brother Long, I really want to go in. However, the National Guard Hall has a written rule. Unless it is father, no one in Nebula royal family is allowed to enter the National Guard Hall without permission. The light punishment would be crippled. The heavy punishment would be death. Shaking his head helplessly, it seemed that the National Guard Hall had a high status in the Nebula royal family. Even the crown prince of the royal family did not dare to enter without permission. Chapter 70. Longao did not enter the National Guard Hall immediately. Instead, he listened to Ouyang Fei's explanation about the National Guard Hall. There were 23 members in the National Guard Hall. The Hall Master and 2 Vice Hall Masters were all fusion warriors. As for the remaining 20 members, they were all evolution warriors. In other words, once he entered the National Guard Hall, he would become the weakest member of the National Guard Hall. How would the people in the National Guard Hall be convinced? They would despise and look down on him. After taking a deep look at the National Guard Hall in front of him, Longao stepped forward and walked in. The National Guard Hall was the most important place in the Nebula imperial family. It was also the highest authority. Even the emperor had to rely on the National Guard Hall. As soon as he stepped into the National Guard Hall, "Who are you?" The National Guard Hall is an important place. No one is allowed to enter without permission. Longao was too lazy to talk nonsense with the guards. He directly showed his badge. Seeing the 3 words State Protector on the badge, the 2 guards immediately became respectful because they knew very well what the State Protector of the State Protector Hall meant. Oh, isn't this the youngest National Guard Master of our National Guard Hall? Humph, youngest. Ignorant fool. I'm really puzzled. A little one-line sky warrior is actually qualified to enter the National Guard Hall. Damn it. The members of the National Guard Hall, Yu Wei and Marofeng, had a look of disdain and contempt. Every member of the National Guard Hall of the Nebula Imperial family was an evolution warrior. In the eyes of an evolution warrior, what was a one-line sky warrior? Moreover, in the history of the National Guard Hall, only those who had broken through the evolution realm and obtained the joint consent of the 3 Hall Masters could officially join the National Guard Hall. But what about this guy? He was just a one-line sky warrior. Without the consent of the 3 Hall Masters, he had entered the National Guard Hall. This matter caused a huge uproar in the National Guard Hall. Everyone expressed their disapproval. Wait. What's the matter? Didn't you hear what we said? Yu Wei and Marofeng were obviously unhappy. If it wasn't for the National Guard Hall's written rule that members were not allowed to fight, the 2 of them would have already attacked. Longao, who do you think you are? How can you enter the National Guard Hall? I'll give you one last chance. Get the hell out of here. Scram. Longao was too lazy to deal with the 2 of them. He was puzzled. Why was it that wherever he went, he would meet such people? What did you just say? Who are you telling to get lost? Good dogs don't block the way. Whichever dog blocks the way, that dog should scram. You are courting death. Marofeng grabbed Yu Wei, shook his head, and said, "This trash only dares to do this because we are inside the National Guard Hall and won't kill him. If we were outside, would he still dare to do this? Mph, Longao, I'm officially challenging you now. If you're a man, do you dare to accept my challenge?" Trouble was coming. Longao was a bit depressed. He had just entered the National Guard Hall and trouble had already come knocking on his door. If he didn't accept the challenge, how would he survive in the National Guard Hall in the future? Moreover, if he didn't accept the challenge, wouldn't it be telling everyone that he was afraid? All right, I accept your challenge. Accept the challenge? Hearing the other side accept the challenge, Yu Wei and Maro Feng were delighted. Yu Wei hooked his finger and said coldly, "Longao, you're still a man. Let's go out and fight. Don't worry, I won't kill you. At most, I'll beat you until you kneel and beg for mercy." Ha ha ha. Yu Wei's face was full of arrogance and confidence. Longao also did not hesitate. Since he had accepted the challenge, then he had to face the next battle. Outside the National Guard Hall, the news of the battle between Yu Wei and Longao, in the blink of an eye, had spread throughout the National Guard Hall and the entire imperial family. The National Guard Hall Master Tang Lin, the two Vice Hall Masters Yang Yi and Luo Cheng, and the rest of the members were all present. Not only that, even the Emperor Ouyang Feng and Crown Prince Ouyang Feng were present. Everyone sat on the side and no one stopped them. After all, this was a challenge between martial artists. As long as both sides agreed, no one had the right to ask. "Brother Tang, who do you think will win the battle between Yu Wei and Longao?" "Your Majesty, I already know about Longao. This person is indeed a rare talent. He is very talented and has great potential. If he is nurtured well, he can become the pillar of the kingdom in the future." Although Tang Lin did not say it clearly, Ouyang Feng knew very well that the National Guard Hall Master beside him definitely thought that Longao was not Yu Wei's opponent. However, after thinking about it, he understood. After all, Longao had just risen. What about Yu Wei? He was a veteran member of the National Guard Hall and his cultivation had reached the evolution realm. It was nothing even if Longao lost. After all, Longao's age and talent were there. If the two of them knew that Longao had almost killed Long Ming, who had reached the evolution realm, what would they think? Ha ha ha, Longao, I really admire you. You actually dared to accept the challenge. I really want to know what gave you such confidence. Yu Wei's face was filled with contempt and disdain. In his eyes, this young man in front of him was not even worth a fart. Moreover, at this moment, the surroundings were filled with people. No matter what happened, he had to win. He had to win. Idiot. You're courting death. How could Yu Wei stand being insulted in public? With a roar, his body had already rushed out. The two of them did not use any weapons. On the surface, it was a spar. In fact, both of them knew very well that even if they were injured in this battle, no one would blame them. After all, no one could predict the outcome of a battle between martial artists. The yellow springs 9 consecutive strikes. The 9 fist forces overlapped in an instant and collided fiercely with Yu Wei's fist. Spiritual energy scattered in all directions. Yu Wei was directly sent flying by Longao's punch. With a loud thud, Yu Wei's body made the most intimate contact with the ground. Impossible, this is impossible. Yu Wei seemed to have been provoked as he stood up. To think that he, the dignified National Guardian of the National Guardian Hall, was sent flying by a young boy with a single punch. Where was his face? How could he continue to stay in the National Guardian Hall in the future? With endless disbelief, Yu Wei moved both his fists and fiercely punched out once again. Seeing Yu Wei being sent flying by Longao's punch, everyone was stunned, especially the Hall Master of the National Guardian Hall, Tang Lin. Because his words just now showed that Longao was not Yu Wei's opponent at all. But now, Yu Wei could not even take a single punch from the other party. If he did not see it with his own eyes, he would not believe it even if he was beaten to death. Your Majesty, this boy's talent and potential are the strongest I have ever seen. No matter what happens, you have to grasp this boy well. Who knows, this boy might become the lucky star of Star Cloud Kingdom in the future. He seemed to be a little surprised because in so many years, Ouyang Feng had never heard Tang Lin praise anyone. Chapter 71. After sending Yu Wei flying with a punch, Longao's body dashed out again. Nephew Longao, that's enough. Hearing Ouyang Feng's words, Longao's heart was filled with unwillingness, but in the end, he forced himself to stop. No matter what, this was the Nebula royal family. Those who bully others will be bullied. You better not provoke me in the future. Otherwise, no matter who it is, they won't be able to protect you. Yu Wei, who was sent flying with a punch, did not continue to attack. He stood there dumbfounded, his face filled with disbelief. Ha ha ha, Brother Long, come with me. Seeing Longao defeat Yu Wei, Tang Lin laughed as if he had found a treasure. He did not care about the shocked gazes of the surrounding people. He pulled Longao's hand and walked side by side into the National Guard Hall. Brother Yu, failure is common. Don't take it to heart. Maro Feng was also deeply shocked. He never thought that the other party would be able to defeat Yu Wei. If he did not see it with his own eyes, he would not believe it even if he was beaten to death. A one-line sky martial artist could actually defeat an evolved martial artist and send him flying with a punch. Was this true? Maro Feng, I will definitely avenge this. Entering the National Guard Hall, Tang Lin directly led Longao and the other members into the main hall. He even brought the Emperor of the Kingdom into the hall. Brother Long, I really did not think that your strength would be able to defeat Brother Yu. According to your talent and potential, you will definitely become a unification expert in less than 10 years. Hearing this, Ouyang Feng seemed to be a little surprised. This was because he never thought that Tang Lin would have such a high evaluation of this child. 10 years, to a martial artist, it was a matter of the blink of an eye. Smiling helplessly, Longao did not say anything. This was because being able to send Yu Wei flying with a punch this time, in the end, was a large part of it. It turned out that when he was fighting with Yu Wei, Longao had silently integrated the soul-suppressing seal into his fists. Yu Wei was careless and was hit by the soul-suppressing seal. His soul was suppressed and he was sent flying with a punch. Longao was very clear in his heart that under normal circumstances, it would not be easy for him to defeat evolutionary-level martial artists. Especially if he wanted to defeat a powerful evolutionary-level martial artist, it would be incomparably difficult. The soul-subduing seal, also known as the Annihilation Seal, was truly an incomparably heaven-defying martial skill. After all, without the Annihilation Seal, it was impossible to defeat an evolved martial artist, even if it was by luck. Luck was very important, but martial skills and strength were even more important. Brother Long, let me ask you now, are you willing to become a member of the National Guard Hall? I am willing. Tang Lin's face was full of praise. He nodded and said, in that case, from now on, you're officially a member of the National Guard Hall. Ha ha ha, nephew Longao, if you need anything in the future, feel free to look for me. Looking at Tang Lin and Ouyang Feng, everyone felt a deep sense of helplessness. It was because everyone knew that the two most powerful people in the Star Cloud Kingdom treated this person with great importance. Next, Tang Lin led Longao to familiarize himself with the National Guard Hall. According to Tang Lin and Ouyang Feng, they hoped that Longao could stay in the Star Cloud royal family. However, they were directly rejected by Longao. After leaving the Star Cloud royal family, Longao could not be said to be happy. It was the same even after defeating Long Ming and Yu Wei, whose cultivation had reached the evolutionary level. Longao knew very well that unless his cultivation had officially broken through to the evolutionary level, he would be able to easily defeat evolutionary level martial artists. Otherwise, once he met other evolutionary level martial artists, he would not be able to defeat them every time. You're Longao? Looking at the child in front of him, Longao was very curious. He nodded and asked, little fellow, I'm Longao. Are you looking for me? That's right. Someone just gave me a letter and asked me to give it to you. This time, Longao was even more curious. He took the letter from the little fellow's hand and gave him a gold coin. After opening the letter and roughly glancing at it, Longao's expression changed abruptly. He was instantly furious because the general meaning of the letter was that they had captured Long Yi and Mu Lin. If he could not rush back to the Red Fire town in Thundercloud City within 3 days, Long Yi and Mu Lin would become 2 corpses. No signature. Who is it? Longao forcefully suppressed the anger in his heart. In his mind, several enemies had already appeared. 5th level Long family, Star Cloud City's Meow family, Thundercloud City's Long family. Longao knew that no matter who the other party was, he could not let anything happen to his parents. It was precisely because of this that Longao, who had just left the Star Cloud royal family, immediately got up and headed to Thundercloud City. 2 days later. Thundercloud City, Redfire Town, Long family. 7th brother? 7th brother, you're back? 7th brother is back. 7th brother is back. Longao had just stepped into the Long family when he heard Long'an's joyful shout. Soon, everyone in the Long family came out. Long Haosha, Long Yi, and Mu Lin were among them. Longao exclaimed in bewilderment when he saw his parents coming out. He quickly walked over and asked straightforwardly, "Father, Mother, are you all right?" What's wrong?" Both Long Yi and Mu Lin were somewhat puzzled and asked curiously. Longao directly handed over the letter in his hand. After Long Haosha and the others read it, they were all very curious. Long Haosha said, "This person is clearly targeting you." Think about it. Who could it be? Longao shrugged helplessly and said, "Grandfather, I don't know who it is either. However, no matter what, from now on, you all must be careful when you go out. I need to think about this matter carefully." Longao already knew that this letter was a prank. However, it also told him that the matter of the Long family was his top priority right now. Before this, Longao had always been thinking about his own matters. He had never thought about the Long family. Even now, he still felt a lingering fear. If something happened to the Long family, he would not even have the chance to regret it in the future. Let me ask you now. Have you already become the state protector of Starcloud Kingdom? Longao nodded and said, "Yes. By the way, grandfather, when I returned earlier, I discovered that the Redfire town seemed to be somewhat different." What happened? Longao was very curious. When he returned this time, he discovered that the Redfire town had changed greatly. It was completely different from the Redfire town before. In other words, the Redfire town at this moment was dozens of times more prosperous. It was even comparable to Thundercloud City. Because of this, Longao did not know what had happened. Long Haosha and the others did not seem to be surprised by the changes in the Redfire town. He said, "This is all because of you. A month ago, the Starcloud royal family wantonly built the Redfire town and announced to the world that our Long family will be the master of the Redfire town in the future." Chapter 72. It was really fast. Longao was very clear about the intentions of the Nebula royal family. The Nebula royal family wanted to rope him in. However, he did not expect that the Nebula royal family had already taken action a month ago. All the businesses of our Long family will be pulled back to the Scarlet Fire town. With the help of the Nebula royal family, we will no longer have to extend our business to Thundercloud City. Looking at the excited faces of his grandfather and father, Longao told himself firmly that no matter what happened, nothing must happen to the Long family. No matter who it was, no one could harm the Long family. After a simple chat with the Long family, Longao left the Long family temporarily. He first went to find Yu Yin, then went to the Thundercloud City's City Lord mansion to find Liu Mu. Getting straight to the point, Longao took out the letter. After Liu Mu finished reading it, he asked, "Brother Liu, take a look. Do you have any clues about this letter?" After reading the letter, Liu Mu's face turned serious and asked, "Brother Long, is anyone in trouble?" "Not at the moment. This matter is a little troublesome. If the other party came at us directly, we could still deal with it. However, the problem is that the other party came at us secretly." Liu Mu did not finish his words, but the meaning behind his words was clear. If the other party really did something like this, they would not even have the chance to defend themselves. Because of this, Longao felt that this matter was terrifying. It was hard to imagine what would happen to the Long family. At that time, he would not even have the chance to regret. Who could it be? After thinking about it, Longao felt that there were many possibilities. Brother Long, I just thought about it. I feel that the biggest suspect is Yi Hao from the Sky Cloud sect. Yi Hao. Brother Liu, Yi Hao and I have made a promise of 1 year. Yi Hao would not easily make a move against the Long family before 1 year is up, right? With the deterrence of the Nebula royal family, Longao was confident that the Sky Cloud sect would not dare to get involved in this matter. Since that was the case, would Yi Hao dare to do it alone? Brother Long, listen to me. Although you and Yi Hao have agreed to meet in a year, Yi Hao's heart is uncertain. Because of this, I'm guessing that Yi Hao is behind this. Brother Long, I have something to say, but I don't know if I should say it or not. Brother Liu, if you have anything to say, just say it. Brother Long, as the saying goes, it's easier to dodge a spear in the open than an arrow in the dark. With Yi Hao's strength, once he goes against the Long family, think about the consequences. How could Longao not understand the meaning behind Liu Mu's words? After thinking about it, Yi Hao was indeed the most suspicious. Brother Liu, I have something to do. I'll take my leave first. Without staying any longer, Longao turned around and left quickly. City Lord's mansion, backyard, pavilion. Looking at the gradually disappearing figure, Liu Ji suddenly appeared with a gloomy expression. She said, Father, why is this so troublesome? Just kill him and end everything. Humph. With a cold snort, Liu Mu said with a deep sense of helplessness, you were too reckless this time. If Longao knows that this letter was written by you, the consequences will be unimaginable. Longao's identity is different now. He's the kingdom protector. Once the Nebula royal family intervenes, we'll be in big trouble. Father, don't worry. As long as we don't say anything, Longao won't know at all. With his current strength, going to the Sky Cloud sect to seek revenge from Yi Hao is almost a dead end. Thundercloud City still didn't know that Longao had defeated Yu Wei. As for the battle between Long Ming and Longao, the outside world didn't know either. Otherwise, Longao's ranking on the 100 battle ranking would continue to rise and replace Long Ming's position. Because of this, in Liu Ji and Liu Mu's opinion, as long as Longao went to the Sky Cloud sect to seek revenge from Yi Hao, he would definitely die. The enmity between you and Longao is not a life and death hatred. Why do you have to do this? Father, since I was young, no one has dared to insult me. But Longao has contradicted me again and again. I must make him pay the price. Looking deeply at his daughter, Liu Mu sighed deeply. At this point, other than supporting his daughter, it seemed that this was the only thing he could do. However, for some reason, Liu Mu had a bad premonition in his heart. He kept feeling that something was not right. After leaving the City Lord's mansion, the anger in Longao's heart was like an endless torrential wave. Originally, he thought that since he and Yi Hao had made a 1-year agreement, Yi Hao would not deal with him or the family behind him within a year. But now it seemed that Yi Hao was simply a shameless villain who did not abide by the agreement. Since the other party was not benevolent, then don't blame him for being unjust. According to Longao's original plan, he would personally go to the Sky Cloud sect after a year. But now, Longao had decided to immediately go to the Sky Cloud sect. Whether or not he could defeat Yi Hao, he had to completely resolve this matter. Otherwise, Yi Hao was like a ticking time bomb, who knew when it would explode. Longao. Looking at Mu He who suddenly appeared in front of him, Longao was also a little surprised. Although they were only relatives, but since young, in the eyes of these so-called cousins, they did not treat him as a relative at all. Mu He, what's the matter? Nodding, Mu He said, Longao, Grandma wants to see you. Grandma? Of course, Longao knew who the Grandma Mu he was talking about was. Mu Wanfeng, the head of the Mu family. She single-handedly supported the entire Mu family. Moreover, she was his mother's mother and his own grandmother. No matter how unhappy he was with the Mu family, Longao was very clear that he had to go to the Mu family for his mother's sake. Let's go. On the way to the Mu family. Longao, I have to admit that before this, we have indeed underestimated you. I am also very clear that with my current strength, it is simply impossible for me to be your opponent. I would like to ask you for something. I hope that you can agree to it." Seemingly a little surprised, Longao smiled and nodded. "Let's hear it first. If I can do it, I will definitely agree to it. Cousin, you are now the Imperial Guardian of the National Guardian Hall of the Star Cloud Imperial family. Your status is high and I can completely foresee that you will definitely soar to the sky in the future. I just hope that when you are high and mighty, you can take care of the Mu family. No matter what, Aunt and you are both members of the Mu family." Mu family? When did he become a member of the Mu family? Longao felt that this was a little funny. People were like this. When you were down, no one would help you in your hour of need. They would only give you a kick. But once you soared, that kick would become flattery. The Mu family was like this now. Although he was unwilling in his heart, could he refuse? After thinking about it, he really could not refuse. Chapter 73. For the sake of his mother, Longao nodded and agreed, "No problem. As long as I, Longao, am here, the Mu clan will be here." Hearing this, Mu heaved a sigh of relief. Although the Mu clan was one of the 3 major clans in Thundercloud City, it was now in a crisis. Since the death of the head of the clan, the Mu clan had been supported by Mu Wanfeng. However, Mu Wanfeng was still a woman. The other clans tolerated the Mu clan mainly because they were afraid of the Mu clan's power. However, after so many years, the Mu clan's power was slowly being depleted. How many more years could the Mu clan last? Mu clan, main hall. Mu Wanfeng and her 2 sons were there. When they saw Longao enter, their attitudes were completely different. This was the difference brought by status and strength. The 3 knew, but Longao knew even better. "Ao, come and sit. Grandma, are you feeling well?" To be honest, Longao was a little unfamiliar with this grandma. Since he could remember, this was the 2nd time he had seen her. "Very well. I heard that you are now the Imperial Protector of Starcloud Kingdom." No matter how unhappy he was, Longao still nodded and said, "That's right. What can I do for you, Grandma?" "Ao, the Mu clan let you down before. However, we are still a family. Grandma has something to ask of you." "Grandma, you are treating me like an outsider. No matter what it is, just say it. As long as I can do it, I will do my best." He had already guessed what his grandmother was talking about, but Longao was very clear in his heart that no matter what, he had to agree. It was still the same sentence. Even if you don't look at the monk's face, you have to look at the Buddha's face. "Ao, your identity is completely different now. As the Imperial Protector of Starcloud Kingdom, you can change our fate anytime you want." Mu Wanfeng's words were not exaggerated at all. Every Imperial Protector of Starcloud Kingdom was a high and mighty existence. Any one of them could easily destroy Thundercloud City and a clan. Mu Wanfeng was clear about the Mu clan's current situation. As long as her grandson helped, the Mu clan would have a chance to develop. As for the future, that was a matter for the future. "Grandma, if you have something to say, just say it." "All right, since that's the case, I won't beat around the bush. Ao, I hope that you can take over the position of patriarch of the Mu clan." "Ah!" Longao was very surprised because he had never thought that the matter that his grandma was talking about would be this matter. She wanted him to inherit the position of the head of the Mu family. What a joke. "Ao, listen to me. Grandma, listen to me first." Longao had already decided that no matter what happened, no matter who came, he would not agree to become the head of the Mu family. "Grandma, my mother and I are both from the Mu clan. No matter what happens, this fact will never change. So as long as I'm here, the Mu clan will be fine. Grandma, is it okay for me to say this?" Looking deeply at her grandson, Mu Wanfeng waved her hand helplessly and said, "Since you are unwilling, I will not force you. Come with me." With that, Mu Wanfeng took Longao's hand and left the hall. In a secret chamber. "Grandma, what's this?" Looking at the yellow book that his grandma handed to him, Longao was very curious. "Ao, The martial technique recorded in this yellow book was accidentally obtained by the ancestor of the Mu clan countless years ago. Although this martial technique is very powerful, it can't be cultivated. You are alone outside and will inevitably encounter dangerous places. Grandma is reminding you now, unless it is a moment of life and death, you must not use this martial technique. Do you understand? Grandma, of course I understand. I'm just curious, why can't I cultivate this martial technique? You may not know, but this martial technique can instantly increase a person's strength, but it comes at a great price. Because of this, the ancestor of the Mu clan has decreed that the disciples of the Mu clan are not allowed to cultivate this martial technique. Increase a person's strength in an instant. Hearing this, Longao seemed a little surprised. He immediately opened the yellow book. On the first page, there were 4 ancient words: 9 needles to God. 9 needles to God. After roughly reading the so-called 9 needles to God, Longao was pleasantly surprised and shocked. Because the 9 needles to God recorded in the yellow book roughly meant that with the power of the 9 needles, one could seal the 108 aperture acupoints in the body, as well as the blood vessels throughout the body, stimulating unlimited physical strength and instantly increasing one's strength. Although the 9 needles to God could increase one's strength in an instant, the only drawback was that once the 9 needles to God was used, the backlash would be so strong that one might even lose one's life. Because of this, the ancestor of the Mu clan forbade the younger generation to cultivate the 9 needles to God. Otherwise, why would such a powerful martial technique be sealed by the Mu clan? At this time, Mu Wanfeng took out a small box from a secret compartment. Opening the box, there were 9 blue needles, each as thick as a finger, inside. These are the 9 needles of God refined by the ancestor of the Mu clan. Again, don't use the 9 needles to God unless you have no other choice. After taking the 9 needles, Longao put them away and said, "Grandma, don't worry. I won't use the needles casually. I really didn't expect that the Long clan would have such a genius like you. But I still want to remind you not to get too close to Liu Mu, especially his daughter, Liu Ji." Liu Mu. Liu Ji. Longao didn't have a good impression of Liu Ji, but he had a good impression of Liu Mu. But he wasn't a fool. Since his grandma said so, there must be something fishy about this matter. "Grandma, what's wrong with Liu Mu and Liu Ji?" You don't know. Liu Mu and Liu Ji are naturally sinister and cunning. Although Liu Mu treats you well on the surface, it's very likely that he'll do something to you behind your back. So, you have to be careful at all times, understand? Nodding his head, Longao expressed that he understood and said, "Grandma, I know. I'll say it again. As long as I, Longao, am here, the Mu clan will be fine." Mu Wanfeng seemed to have aged a lot in an instant. She said helplessly, "I'm old. I don't think I can live for long. I just don't want the Mu clan to be destroyed in my hands. Well, since you're here, stay a few more days and keep me company." Longao originally wanted to refuse, but when he saw his grandma's aged face, he couldn't bear to do so. He could only agree helplessly. In the Mu clan, Longao didn't waste any time. He wholeheartedly immersed himself in practicing the 9 needles of God. He knew that such a powerful martial technique might save him in the future. The 9 needles of God instantly increased his strength. Chapter 74. Under Mu Wanfeng's repeated requests, Longao stayed in the Mu family for 3 days. 3 days later, Red Fire Town, Long family. As for the matter of the Sky Cloud sect, Longao had never mentioned it from the beginning to the end. However, the Star Cloud royal family, for some unknown reason, had directly ordered to continue the construction of the Scarlet Fire Town. It could be said that the Scarlet Fire Town was changing every day. After returning to the family, Longao spent most of his time with his parents other than practicing the soul-suppressing seal and the 9 needles sealing God. 3 days later, Longao got up and left the Long family. Outside the Thunder Cloud City, looking at the tall city wall behind him, Longao clenched his fists and said firmly, "No matter who it is, don't hurt my family." The Flowing Cloud sect was a mid-tier sect in the Tianju. It was not as strong as any of the families in the Star Cloud City, but it was above the Thunder Cloud City. The Flowing Cloud Peak was a few miles long. One mountain was connected to another, like flowing water. That was why it was called the Flowing Cloud Peak. The Flowing Cloud sect is an important place. Outsiders are not allowed to enter. I'm looking for Yi Hao. Yi Hao. The two Flowing Cloud Martial School disciples were shocked when they heard the other party call Elder Yi Hao by his name. When they looked at the other party's age, their faces were instantly filled with disdain and contempt. Kid, I advise you to leave here quickly. Otherwise, you won't even have the chance to regret. Senior brother, this person dares to call Elder Yi Hao's name. It's already a death sentence. Why don't we take him down? Maybe Elder Yi Hao will be happy and accept us as disciples. Looking at the two coldly, Longao said in an extremely cold voice, "Get out of my way." Get out? You want us to get out? Ha 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 ha. As if they had heard the funniest thing in the world, the two laughed without restraint. Kid, who are you? Tell me your name if you dare. Thunder Cloud City, Red Fire Town's Long family disciple, Longao. Thunder Cloud City? Red Fire Town? Long family? Ahahaha. Hearing Longao's identity, the two laughed even more unscrupulously, because the Red Fire Town's Long family was nothing in the eyes of the Sky Cloud Martial School, let alone a little disciple of the Long family. Long family was one of the strongest families in the Martial Heaven continent. Even the 5th rank Long family wouldn't dare to act like this. This was the direct result of having a powerful family. Longao didn't blame his family because he knew that if he didn't want to be despised by others, he could only rely on himself. Kid, since you're from the Scarlet Fire Town, then stay here. The two of them had come together. Perhaps it was to flatter him, but what was the result? The two came fast, and left even faster. Only 2 screams could be heard, followed by the sound of bones breaking. Their screams echoed throughout the Sky Cloud Martial School. Soon, a few figures shot out from the Sky Cloud Peak. He arrived in the blink of an eye. The 5 of them were all inner disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School, and all of them were at the 10th level of inner chi. They could be considered as top warriors in the Sky Cloud Martial School, and all of them were extremely arrogant. Brother Chen, this bastard is looking for trouble, quickly stop him. Seeing the two screaming on the ground, the 5 who had just stood up were shocked. Chen Cheng asked coldly, "Who are you? Why are you looking for trouble in the Sky Cloud Martial School?" The dogs of the Sky Cloud Martial School are biting people, so I can only teach them a lesson on behalf of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Sir, don't you think you're going a bit too far? Waving his hand, Longao didn't want to waste any more words, so he said directly, "I'm looking for Yi Hao, this has nothing to do with you." Chimph, who do you think you are? How dare you call Elder Yi by his name? Just this point alone is enough to kill you. Of course, the others didn't want to let this happen. This was the Sky Cloud Martial School, and a brat called an elder by his name. If this spread out, the Sky Cloud Martial School would become a laughingstock. This time, Longao obviously didn't want to waste any time. Before the 5 made a move, Longao's body had already rushed out. Under the 5's shocked gazes, they didn't even have time to react before they were sent flying one by one. Sending 5 10th level inner chi warriors flying with one punch. What kind of concept was this? In this kind of situation, if they still didn't know his strength, then they would really be idiots. It was because of this that everyone looked at him with fear. It was hard to imagine where this person's confidence came from. Even if he was a higher heaven stage warrior, so what? After all, the Sky Cloud Martial School was full of powerful warriors. Yi Hao, get the hell out here. Yi Hao, get the hell out here. Although Longao's voice wasn't loud, it was like a huge wave rolling out. In the blink of an eye, it had spread throughout the entire Sky Cloud Martial School. In less than a minute, the entire Sky Cloud Martial School was in an uproar. Longao, you've gone too far. Yi Hao's voice rang out. Then, Yi Hao's figure appeared, coldly looking at the teenager in front of him. At this moment, Yi Hao's face was extremely cold. Yi Hao really couldn't figure it out. He had already made a 1-year agreement with the other party, and the 1-year agreement hadn't expired yet. Why did the other party come knocking on his door and even ask him to get the hell out? It was simply unbearable. The secret cave could bear it, but the chrysanthemum couldn't. Yi Hao, I made a 1-year agreement with you. The agreement hasn't been fulfilled yet, and you've shamelessly played tricks on me. You're really shameless. Longao directly threw the letter in his hand out. The one thing that Longao couldn't accept the most was someone threatening his family. After just a glance, Yi Hao threw the letter away and said, I didn't write this letter. Longao, you're really interesting. I can tell you clearly that if I wanted to deal with your family, I would do it in a matter of minutes. I wouldn't do this behind your back. Yi Hao, do you really think you can fool me? You're still an elder of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Longao, the 1-year agreement hasn't been fulfilled yet. If you do this, you'll be violating the agreement between you and Elder Yi. Then, the Sky Cloud Martial School won't sit by and do nothing. The master of the Sky Cloud Martial School, Tu Lei, appeared in front of Longao with 4 elders. As the 5 strongest warriors of the Sky Cloud Martial School, their aura alone was enough to crush Longao to death. However, they were afraid of the Star Cloud royal family, so they didn't dare to act recklessly. Master Tu, this is between me and Yi Hao. The Sky Cloud Martial School said that they wouldn't interfere in this matter. Is the Sky Cloud Martial School going back on their word? Although Longao had full confidence in himself, if he were to face the entire Sky Cloud Martial School, he would have no chance of winning. Because the Sky Cloud Martial School had said that they wouldn't interfere in this matter, Longao somewhat despised the Sky Cloud Martial School. A martial school that didn't keep its word. Just think about it, one could imagine what would happen to such a martial school in the future. Longao, I won't interfere in the 1-year agreement between you and Elder Yi. But today, you've made a scene in the Sky Cloud Martial School, so I have to interfere. Chapter 75. Make a scene in the Sky Cloud sect. Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew that this was just an excuse from the other party. The purpose was to prevent him from finding trouble with Yi Hao. Master Tu, do you mean you want to intervene in this matter? Longao, when the Nebula royal family and the level 5 Long family came together, I gave them face. But now, the level 5 Long family has withdrawn. Even if you are the imperial protector of the Nebula royal family, making a scene in the Sky Cloud sect is a capital offense. The level 5 Long family had withdrawn. Longao was not surprised at all. But Longao was still a little confused. Did the Sky Cloud sect really think that he was a match for the Nebula royal family? Longao, although the 1-year agreement between you and me is not up yet, you have openly humiliated me today. This is unbearable. Then what do you want? 1-year agreement. Today, you and I will fight to the death. Life and death are predestined. On this trip to the Sky Cloud sect, Longao had already made up his mind. Regardless of whether Yi Hao was the culprit or not, this matter had to be resolved once and for all. It was precisely because of this that Longao nodded and said, okay. Tu Lei waved his hand and said, pass down the order. No one is allowed to go down the mountain. Yes, Master. Longao, the Sky Cloud sect will not intervene in the grievances between you and Elder Yi. But this time, you have caused a scene in the Sky Cloud sect. I will not let it go. Even if this matter is brought to the Nebula royal family, the Sky Cloud sect will not be afraid. Longao did not have any excuses because he knew in his heart that if the Sky Cloud sect wanted to deal with him, he would not be able to do anything. No matter what, this time he had indeed taken the initiative to come to the Sky Cloud sect. Even if the Nebula royal family intervened, they might not be able to do anything. Yi Hao and Longao stared at each other. Both of them were emitting a strong battle intent, colliding with each other. Longao and Yi Hao released their respective forces at the same time. Although there were differences, the fact that a one-line sky expert could release their own forces still deeply shocked Tu Lei and the others. It was precisely because of this that Tu Lei's eyes became colder and his body was filled with a murderous aura. At this time, Yi Hao and Longao moved at the same time. Before they arrived, the saber light arrived first. Longao knew that with his strength, it would not be easy to defeat his opponent, so he had to end this battle quickly. The suppression of power. Yi Hao had great confidence in himself. In fact, Yi Hao was pleasantly surprised. After all, the other party's talent and potential were there for all to see. Who knew how much the other party would grow in a year's time? Since the other party had taken the initiative to come knocking on his door today, it was a good opportunity to deal with the other party. In the blink of an eye, the two of them were already engaged in a fierce battle, exchanging blows back and forth. In an instant, they had fought for more than 10 rounds, and thus, there was no clear victor. Soul-subduing seal, coupled with the first 2 moves of the 8 styles of blood drinking, the Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes, and the Heart Seal, Longao's blood drinking, saber had already fiercely slashed down. The saber light instantly cut through the sky and slashed towards Yi Hao. At the beginning, Yi Hao was indeed full of confidence that he could kill the other party in the shortest time, but as the battle continued to escalate, the shock in Yi Hao's heart became more and more intense. Because he never thought that the other party's strength would be so strong. Soul-subduing seal. Like a death knell, Yi Hao's heart was fiercely knocked. Yi Hao was taken aback because he never thought that the other party's martial skill would be so terrifying. He did not have the slightest bit of carelessness. He immediately circulated the spiritual power in his body and gathered it in his soul to resist the terrifying corrosive force. Seeing the reversal of the battle, Tu Lei and the others were also taken aback. "Master, this child must not be left alive." Nodding his head, Tu Lei certainly understood the meaning of the elder behind him. Longao was now only in the one-line sky, but he was able to force the evolver into such a difficult situation. If this person's cultivation broke through the evolver realm, wouldn't he be able to instantly kill Elder Yi Hao? Just thinking about it was terrifying. Not to mention, the matter had already escalated to this point. Once the other party grew up, he would be a great threat to the Sky Cloud sect. "Master, if we kill this child, will the Star Cloud royal family not be happy?" Waving his hand, Tu Lei said, "The 5th grade Long family has already informed me. If this child dares to come and cause trouble, I will kill him without mercy. As for the Star Cloud royal family, the 5th grade Long family will block them." "Master, is there something fishy about this matter? One should know that before this, the Star Cloud royal family and the 5th grade Long family jointly wanted to protect Longao. But now, the 5th grade Long family backed out halfway. Anyone would be a little puzzled. They did not know what the 5th grade Long family and the Star Cloud royal family were up to. Kill. If it was before, Tu Lei might be afraid of the Star Cloud royal family and would not deal with Longao. But since seeing Longao's talent and strength, Tu Lei had already decided that even if he had to provoke the Star Cloud royal family and the National Guard Hall, he would kill Longao to completely solve the problem for the Sky Cloud sect. The soul-suppressing seal suppressed Yi Hao. Longao's heart was suddenly filled with joy. He did not let go of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The blood-sucking blade in his hand instantly slashed out. At this moment, Yi Hao's strength was already enough to kill evolvers, as long as he did not meet a peak evolver. Just as the wild devouring saber chopped down, the 4 great elders, who had not moved all this while, all moved. The 4 elders were all evolver experts. With 5 evolver experts joining forces, Longao's face instantly turned ugly. Although he had full confidence that he could defeat Yi Hao, it did not mean that he could defeat 5 evolver experts at the same time. Longao never thought that the Sky Cloud sect would make a move against him. Even if his heart was filled with anger, the blood-sucking blade in his hand still slashed out fiercely. 5 against 1. It had to be said that Longao's strength was indeed very strong. His hands were constantly forming seals, and the soul-suppressing seal rolled out. He also continuously used the first style of blood-sucking, Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes, and the second style, Frozen Heart Devouring. "Longao, you must die today." Seeing that Longao was able to withstand the 5 of them in a short time, Tu Lei secretly decided that no matter what happened, No matter if the Star Cloud royal family would vent their anger on the Sky Cloud sect, he must kill the other party today. If you cut the grass without removing the roots, it will grow again when the spring breeze blows. Stop. Hearing Tu Lei's roar, everyone stopped. The 5 of them were all shocked and looked at the young man dumbfoundedly. Until now, the 5 of them could not figure out how the young man was so strong. If they did not experience it personally, they would not be willing to believe it even if they were beaten to death. Tu Lei, why did the Sky Cloud sect intervene in the battle between Yi Hao and me? Longao's face was also a little gloomy. The Sky Cloud sect was now openly helping Yi Hao, which basically made their intentions clear. It seemed that the Sky Cloud sect wanted to deal with him. Chapter 76. Longao, I have already said that the Sky Cloud Martial School will not get involved in the grudge between you and Master Yi. But now that you have made such a scene, I have to get involved. Shameless. Longao knew what Tu Lei and the Sky Cloud Martial School meant. After all, the Sky Cloud Martial School wanted to protect Yi Hao so that they could deal with him. With a sneer, Tu Lei said coldly, Longao, I will give you a chance. Kill yourself here. Kill himself here? Hearing Tu Lei's words, Longao felt like he had heard the funniest thing in the world. He asked, Tu Lei, is there something wrong with your head? How dare you? How dare you? Longao did not give anyone a chance to speak. At this moment, he was extremely angry. The Sky Cloud Martial School did not keep their words. They said that they would not get involved, but they attacked him. Just this point alone was enough to show how shameless the Sky Cloud Martial School was. People like you are really a waste of air when you are alive, and a waste of land when you are dead. Let me give you a piece of advice. You might as well just die. How could Tu Lei and the others stand being insulted in public like this? Longao, you are looking for death. I am looking for death. Since you are so shameless, I will give you a couplet. Listen carefully. The first line, a tree without its bark will die. The second line, a shameless person is invincible. The horizontal line, a shameless person is invincible. F***ck off. Longao was too lazy to continue. He knew that there was only one way to deal with such shameless people, and that was to attack directly. However, Longao left quickly and came back even faster. His face was extremely gloomy. Looking at Liu Mu and Liu Ji who suddenly appeared, especially Yu Yin who was caught by Liu Mu, Longao immediately understood what had happened. He asked gloomily, Liu Mu, what do you mean by this? Ha ha ha, Longao, can't you see that things have come to this? Liu Ji, is it you? Liu Ji's face was full of coldness. She said, Longao, I want you to know the consequences of messing with me. Aren't you trying to be ruthless? I would like to see how you are going to be ruthless today. Clenching his fists, Longao suddenly said gently, Yu Yin, I am sorry. At this moment, Wang Yuyin had a deep sense of helplessness. She didn't say anything. A teardrop flowed out from the corner of her eyes. It completely pierced Longao's heart. It was all his carelessness that caused Wang Yuyin to be held hostage. Brother Dragon, Tu Lei is my cousin. I had no choice but to do this. I hope you don't mind. Don't mind? Longao had seen shameless people before, but he had never seen such shameless people. Tu Lei and Liu Mu were really shameless to the extreme. Now he finally knew who did it. In the end, it was a show directed by Tu Lei, Liu Mu, and Yi Hao. A bunch of shameless bastards who lacked calcium when they were young, who lacked love when they grew up. Their grandmothers didn't love them, and their uncles didn't love them. Today, I will slaughter the entire Sky Cloud Martial School. Before Longao could finish his words, everyone burst into unrestrained laughter. In their eyes, no one believed that the young man in front of them could slaughter the Sky Cloud sect. Not to mention the others, just the master of the Sky Cloud sect, Tu Lei, was a fusion warrior who was above the evolution realm. Could Longao kill Tu Lei? Longao, Yu Yin is in my hands. You better compromise. I can promise you that you will not die. Liu Mu, you better shut up. Even if I can't kill you today, I will definitely kill you in the future. Liu Mu, who originally felt a little guilty, seemed to know that things were already set in stone and could not be changed. His face turned cold. At this moment, a dagger suddenly appeared in Liu Ji's hand. She placed it on Wang Yuan's neck and said coldly, "Kneel down before me, or I'll kill Yuan with one strike." He looked deeply at Liu Ji and Yu Yin. At that moment, Longao's face became calm. There was no anger, no killing intent. There was only gentleness and a faint smile. "Longao, listen to me. If you dare to kneel, I will bite my tongue and kill myself. Yu Yin, are you afraid of death?" "No, as long as I can be with you, even if I die, I will have no regrets." At this moment, Wang Yuan's face was filled with determination. She suddenly laughed and said with an incomparably firm voice, "Unforgettable grudges, unforgettable grudges, unforgettable you. Only for love, only for you. Even if I go to the underworld, I will still have a dream. If you do not abandon me, I will be with you in life and death. If you do not abandon me, I will be with you in life and death." Hearing those words, Longao faced the sky and madly laughed. Within his laughter, it was filled with emotion and determination. He loudly said, "I will never leave you. In life and death, I will be with you. Even if we die, we will go to the underworld together." Ha 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 ha. Seeing the two of them ignoring everyone was moved, especially Liu Ji. Which woman would not want to be with such a man? All right, since that is the case, I will fulfill your wish. Yi Hao, the four great elders, Tu Lei, Liu Ji and Liu Mu stood together. Everyone stared at the young man in front of them. Because everyone knew that as long as Yu Yin was in their hands, would the other party really dare to attack? Everyone could talk about it, but when it came to actually doing it, how many people in the world could actually do it? Liu Ji sneered and said with disdain, "Longao, I will give you one last chance. If you kneel down and beg me now, I will let Wang Yuyin go. Otherwise, I will kill her right now. Those who touch my Yu Yin will be killed without mercy." Longao suddenly took out 9 seal of God needles from his bosom and coldly looked at the people in front of him. Without any hesitation, he began to stab the 9 seal of God needles into his own body. The 9 seal of God needles were stabbed into the 9 major acupuncture points on his body, and he began to operate the 9 seal of God needles. Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew that with his strength, he was no match for the other party. Once the battle started, only death would await him. If he used the 9 God-sealing needles to increase his strength in an instant, he might have a chance to live. Even if he could not escape, he wanted to die a heroic death. "If you do not abandon me, I will accompany you in life and death. With such a lover, even if I die, it will be worth it." The 9 God-sealing needles pierced into Longao's body. At this moment, the aura within Longao's body suddenly went berserk and skyrocketed crazily. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Longao's aura rose crazily. Originally, he had already condensed his own aura. At this moment, the 9 God-sealing needles completely stimulated his potential and began to evolve his aura. Evolution realm. Feeling the evolution aura from the other party, everyone was completely dumbfounded. Chapter 77. No one knew how the young man did it. Breaking through the evolution realm in an instant, what kind of concept was that? Just as everyone was dumbfounded, Longao's body suddenly moved. The improvement brought by the 9 needles investiture not only increased his realm, but also his strength and speed. Crack. It was unknown whether it was because they were too shocked, but the 4 elders did not react. The wild drinking blade in Longao's hand had already ruthlessly slashed out. Sigu's blade light cut through the horizon. With an unbelievable speed, he killed the 4 elders with one strike. Killing 4 evolution realm experts with one strike? Seeing this, the remaining people were completely dumbfounded. "Longao, you're courting death," he roared. How could Tu Lei not be angry after losing 4 elders in an instant? As a fusion realm expert, Tu Lei's strength was far from what Longao could compare to. In the fusion realm, one would first fuse the force into one's spiritual power and form a spiritual light. Not daring to be careless, Longao dodged to the side, dodged Tu Lei, and quickly headed towards Liu Mu. Before he arrived, a terrifying murderous aura arrived first. Longao, if you dare to come over, I'll immediately kill Wang Yuyin. Ignoring Liu Ji and Liu Mu's threats, Longao had already disregarded life and death. To be able to die with the people he loved was also a very romantic thing. It was because of this that Longao came in front of Liu Ji and Liu Mu at the fastest speed. His voice was like that of hell as he roared, "Let her go, or die." At this moment, Longao was like a death god because he knew very well that the Nine Needles investiture could only last for 10 minutes. In other words, after 10 minutes, his strength would disappear, and he might even regress. Once the Nine Needles investiture backfired, he would really have no chance. Liu Ji and Liu Mu were completely scared out of their wits because they did not expect that the other party's cultivation could break through the evolution realm in an instant and kill the 4 elders with one strike. He pulled Wang Yuyin over, and at this time, Tu Lei's body also rushed out. Before he arrived, his palms were already fiercely chopping out. "Get out of my way!" The two palms collided, and spiritual energy scattered in all directions. Longao's body was instantly sent flying, while Wang Yuyin fell back into Tu Lei's hands. He sneered and said with disdain, "Longao, so what if you broke through to the evolution realm? In my eyes, you're still a useless piece of trash." Longao, who had been sent flying backwards, didn't speak any nonsense. He rushed out once more. The soul-suppressing seal combined with the blood-drinking 8 styles brought a heavy pressure to his opponent. At this moment, Yi Hao also made his move. "Longao, I will make you regret this for the rest of your life." Yi Hao arrived in front of Wang Yuyin, and his palm landed squarely on the top of Wang Yuyin's head. If not for Longao's timely arrival, this palm alone would have been enough to shatter Wang Yuyin's head. One had to know that the crown of the head was the weakest part of a martial artist. Even so, Yu Yin had fainted after being struck by a palm strike. It was unknown whether she was still alive or not. "Ah, Yi Hao, I'm going to kill you." Catching Yu Yin, who was slowly falling down, Longao's expression completely changed. His body was trembling. He gently placed Yu Yin on the ground, looked up to the sky, and roared in pain. Then, he directly charged towards the two. "Ha ha ha, Longao, you can't even protect the person you love the most. How dare you do this? You really don't know what's good for you." Longao held the blood-sucking wild saber in his hand as his killing intent surged. At the same time as he shot towards Yi Hao and Tu Lei, he suddenly turned halfway and shot towards Liu Ji and Liu Mu. The culprits were the two of them, because if they hadn't taken Yu Yin away, Yu Yin wouldn't have died. With Liu Mu and Liu Ji's strength, how could they be a match for Longao? They didn't even have the chance to react before being cut down by the blood-drinking frenzy blade. Now, there were only 2 enemies left, Tu Lei and Yi Hao. 10 minutes passed in the blink of an eye. Longao's heart was filled with endless unwillingness. He coldly looked at his opponents with murderous intent. At this moment, Longao didn't care at all. He held the blood-drinking frenzy blade in his hand and slashed towards Yi Hao. Longao had already made up his mind. Even if he had to die, he would kill Yi Hao first. As for Tu Lei, Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew that with his current strength, he couldn't defeat Tu Lei even if he used the 9 needles. Would Tu Lei agree to kill Yi Hao? Now, the 4 elders of the Sky Cloud sect had been killed. Even his cousin and nephew had been killed. In other words, Yi Hao was the only one left in the Sky Cloud sect. If Yi Hao was also killed, then he would be the only one left in the Sky Cloud sect. At that time, he would be alone. Just as Tu Lei was about to attack, many figures came from not far away. They were Ouyang Fei and Tang Lin. As the leader of the National Guard Hall, only 2 people in the entire Star Cloud royal family could mobilize the power of the National Guard Hall. One was the Emperor, Ouyang Feng, and the other was Tang Lin. "Tu Lei, you are playing with fire." Looking at the sudden appearance of the crowd, Tu Lei and Yi Hao's faces were extremely ugly. They had never thought that the National Guard Hall would send out all of its forces to protect Longao. If the National Guard Hall insisted on attacking the Sky Cloud sect, then the sect would be doomed. This is between the Sky Cloud sect and Longao. Are the Star Cloud royal family and the National Guard Hall going to intervene? F***CKU. Ouyang Fei didn't take the other side seriously at all. He scolded, "You bastard. We agreed that the Sky Cloud sect would not intervene in the grudge between Yi Hao and Longao. But now, you shamelessly attacked Yi Hao and killed his sister-in-law. Because of this, the Star Cloud royal family and the National Guard Hall have to intervene. Tu Lei, I can tell you clearly that the Sky Cloud sect will die today. The Sky Cloud sect will die." Tu Lei didn't doubt Ouyang Fei's words at all. After all, Ouyang Fei's strength was right there. Tu Lei's face was gloomy. For a moment, Tu Lei didn't know what to say. "Brother Ouyang, Hall leader, let me handle this, okay?" Hearing this, Ouyang Fei and Tang Lin were a little surprised. They took a deep look at the young man in front of them and nodded. They knew the young man's personality too well. Once he had decided on something, it was hard to change his mind. Tu Lei, Yi Hao, I, Longao, swear a blood oath to the heavens that I will personally come to take revenge and destroy the Sky Cloud sect. If I can't do it, I am not a human being. As he spoke, Longao forced out a drop of essence blood from his body and swore a blood oath in front of them. The blood oath was the scariest oath among all the warriors in the Sky Martial continent. If it couldn't be fulfilled or violated, the warrior would be devoured by the bloodline and die without a burial place. Hearing the young man's oath, Tang Lin and the others were shocked. They wanted to say something, but looking at the young man standing proudly in front of them, they swallowed their words. Things had already come to this point, and they couldn't say anything. Chapter 78. I'll wait for you. At this moment, Longao's aura had completely changed. It was cold and full of murderous intent, as if he came from hell. Tu Lei, the royal family and the National Guard Hall will not interfere with the grudges between you and Brother Long. But you better not provoke the Long family. Otherwise, the royal family will destroy your Sky Cloud sect. The National Guard Hall of the Star Cloud royal family had 3 Fusion Realm Masters. With 20 other members, it would only take a few minutes for them to destroy the Sky Cloud Martial School. This was also why Ouyang Fei was so confident. Looking at Longao's group leaving, Yi Hao said with a serious face, "Master, what should we do now? Don't go against the Long family. But I don't believe that Longao will be alive to take revenge." Longao, who had left, carried Yu Yin in his arms. He took heavy steps and walked step by step. No expression could be seen on his face. Anger. Sadness. None of that. "Brother Long, sister-in-law. Yu Yin is not dead." Longao's voice suddenly rose. His eyes were bloodshot. Because of the backlash from the 9 needles, Longao was on the verge of collapsing. But he still insisted on walking. Unforgettable grudges, unforgettable love, unforgettable love, unforgettable love, unforgettable love, unforgettable love for you. If you don't leave me, I will stay with you in life and death. Looking at the tears flowing from the corner of Longao's eyes, Ouyang Fei deeply sighed and didn't continue to persuade him. He came to Tang Lin's side and said, "Uncle Tang, how about we follow Brother Long to the Scarlet Fire Town?" "No problem." Just like that, Longao carried Yu Yin and went to the Red Fire Town with the others. Thunder Cloud City, Red Fire Town, Long family. Hearing that the Crown Prince of the Nebula royal family and the people of the National Guard Hall came to the Long family, the whole Red Fire Town was in an uproar. Especially when they heard that Longao had caused a ruckus in the Sky Cloud sect, killed 4 elders of the Sky Cloud sect, and killed Liu Mu and Liu Ji. Everyone in the Red Fire Town and Thunder Cloud City were shocked. They did not know what happened to Longao. As soon as they returned to the clan, Longao carried Yuan back to his courtyard. No matter who it was, whether it was Long Haosha, Ouyang Fei, or even Tang Lin, without Longao's permission, no one dared to step into the courtyard. It wasn't just the Long family. After receiving the news that their daughter was injured, the people from the Wang family also rushed over. Everyone stood guard outside the courtyard, their faces filled with worry. Uncle, Auntie, Brother Long has suffered quite a blow this time. When Brother Long comes out, you have to properly advise him. Uncle? Auntie? Who is he? The Crown Prince of the Nebula. Long Yi nodded and said, "Thank you for your concern. Uncle, I have already dealt with the matter of the Sky Cloud sect. I believe they will not trouble you." On the other side, the two elders, Long Haosha and Wang Yidao, stood quietly. Because in the courtyard, one was Long Haosha's grandson, while the other was Wang Yidao's granddaughter. The two elders were very worried about their respective grandsons in the courtyard. They seemed to have aged a lot in an instant. Brother Wang, waving his hand, Wang Yidao deeply sighed and said, "Brother Long, this is not Aoer's fault. If you want to blame someone, blame Liu Mu and the Sky Cloud sect." Sky Cloud sect. Long Haosha's eyes revealed a cold murderous aura. But the Sky Cloud sect was like a mountain, pressing down on them. Even with the help of the Wang family, they would not be able to deal with the Sky Cloud sect. In the room of the courtyard, on the tattered bed, Yu Yin lay quietly. Her breath was very weak, as if she could disappear at any time. Long Ao sat on the side of the bed and held Yu Yin's small hand tightly. There were tears at the corner of his eyes. Back then, he had persisted for 10 years and he had not shed a single tear. Such a strong man could not help but shed tears at this moment because the silly woman lying on the bed had almost lost her life because of him. "I will never forget you, I will never forget you. Only for you. Only for you. I will still have a dream in the underworld. If you don't leave, I will stay with you in life and death. Yu Yin, I'm the one who harmed you. Don't die, don't leave me." Long Ao's voice sounded helpless and desolate. The top of his head had been struck, and there was no way for him to recover. It was precisely because of this that Long Ao's body emitted traces of despair and desolation. The night was especially quiet. People were especially desolate. For the entire night, Long Ao didn't close his eyes. He just quietly looked at Yu Yin, who was lying on the bed. Unknowingly, his black hair gradually turned white and his hair turned white overnight. The next day, early morning. Creak. The door of the courtyard was gently opened. Seeing Long Ao walk out from inside, everyone was completely dumbfounded. With a wah sound, Mu Lin directly cried out. She went up and hugged her son, crying loudly. His hair turned white overnight. At this moment, Long Ao was dressed in black, but his hair was completely white. He looked like a 70 or 80-year-old man. With white hair and black clothes, coupled with his youthful face, he gave off a very strange feeling. Everyone knew why Long Ao's hair turned white overnight. For Yu Yin, how many people in the world could do such a thing? "Mother, I'm fine." "Aoer, you. Mu Lin did not know what to say. Because she realized that her son had suffered too much. For so many years, her son had endured too much. Everyone didn't say anything. Each and every one of them quietly stood in place. But in their hearts, they were exceptionally admiring Long Ao. Such an infatuated man, Wang Yuan was worth it. "Aoer, how is Yu Yin?" Yu Yin's grandfather, Wang Yidao, and parents asked with worried faces. Long Ao stammered. In the end, he did not say anything. At this moment, Ouyang Fei suddenly walked over and said, "Brother Long, I transported the 1,000-year chilling ice bed from Xingyun City. As long as sister-in-law lies on it, she will be fine for a year. And within a year, we can find a way to save her." "Really?" Hearing Ouyang Fei's words, Long Ao was overjoyed. As if he could not wait, he immediately ordered people to put the 1,000-year chilling ice bed in the courtyard. As expected, Yu Yin lay on the bed and her breathing gradually stabilized. 1 year was more than enough. At this moment, everyone let out a long sigh of relief. Long Ao said, "Big brother Ouyang, thank you. I will remember this kindness." "Brother, you don't have to do this." Long Ao, Ouyang Fei, Long Haosha, Long Yi, and Tang Lin left the courtyard. Mu Lin and Yu Yin's mother stayed behind to take care of Yu Yin. In the Long family's main hall, Ouyang Fei and Tang Lin sat at the head of the table. Everyone was gathered together. P.S. Please support Little Nine's new book Myriad World God Emperor. Thank you. Chapter 79. Big Brother Ouyang, I would like to ask, is there any way to save Yu Yin? Brother Long, the 1,000-year chilling icebed can save sister-in-law's life for a year. There are only 2 ways to completely heal her injuries. As expected. Hearing that there was a way to save Yu Yin, Longao was overjoyed. After an entire day and night, his face finally relaxed. Big Brother Ouyang, what are the methods? Brother Long, the first method is to find a super expert to use his own strength to help sister-in-law recover. This method is almost impossible, so we only need to consider the second method, which is the 1,000-year thunderfruit. 1,000-year thunderfruit? That's right, the 1,000-year thunderfruit. Legend has it that it is a miraculous fruit nurtured by heaven and earth. No matter how serious the injuries are, as long as you consume the 1,000-year thunderfruit, you can recover to your original state. Somewhat excited, Longao couldn't wait to ask, Big Brother Ouyang, where can I find this 1,000-year thunderfruit? Brother Long, don't be impatient. Last night, I already contacted my father and received accurate information. The 1,000-year thunderfruit ripens every 1,000 years. In another month, it will be the time for it to ripen, so it's still early. 1,000 years ripened. There was no need to ask. Longao could guess that once the 1,000-year thunderfruit ripened, many people would try to snatch it. However, for Yu Yin, no matter what happened, he had to snatch it. Brother Long, the 1,000-year thunderfruit can't be found in the Star Cloud Kingdom. It only grows in the Thunder Forest of the Thunder Empire. Every time the thunderfruit ripens, it will attract countless experts to fight over it. Without waiting for Ouyang Fei to finish speaking, Longao immediately stood up. His face was resolute and filled with killing intent as he said, no matter who it is, if they dare to snatch the 1,000-year thunderfruit from me, I will kill them without mercy. Ouyang Fei sighed deeply. Of course, he knew about Longao's feelings for Yu Yin. He said helplessly, Brother Long, with your strength alone and the Thunder Empire's National Guard Hall, you won't be able to obtain the Thunder Fruit. Therefore, we have to plan for the long term. Thunder Empire? In the end, his rationality suppressed his impulse. Longao nodded and asked, Big Brother Ouyang, tell me more about the Thunder Empire's National Guard Hall. All right. After listening to Ouyang Fei's explanation, Longao gained a general understanding of the Thunder Empire. The martial heaven continent was divided into 9 prefectures. Within the Tianju prefecture, there were 2 great empires, the Thunder Empire and the Flame Empire. These 2 empires had countless subordinate kingdoms. The Starcloud Kingdom was one of the subordinate kingdoms of the Thunder Empire. The Thunder Empire also had their own National Guard Hall. However, their strength and background far surpassed the Starcloud Kingdoms. Otherwise, the Starcloud Kingdom's National Guard Hall wouldn't have been so suppressed. After coughing twice, Tang Lin, who had been silent all this time, suddenly said, Brother Long, in 10 days, our National Guard Hall will head to the Thunder Empire. At that time, you will be able to seize the 1,000-year flame fruit. Hall Master, are we going to the Thunder Empire? Yes. Every 3 years, the Thunder Empire's National Guard Hall will hold a thunder battle. Basically, all the affiliated kingdoms will participate. And this year, another thunder battle will be held. Thunder battle? Longao didn't know why, but he felt that the Thunder Empire's Thunderclap War was somewhat sinister. After all, why would the Thunder Empire suddenly hold a Thunderclap War? Brother Long, I have a few private words to say to you. Your Highness Crown Prince, Hall Master Tang, will take our leave first. Long Haoshe wasn't an idiot. He naturally knew that what Tang Lin was about to say was extremely important. He quickly left with Wang Yidao and the others. Only 3 people remained in the hall, Longao, Ouyang Fei, and Tang Lin. Hall Master, what's the matter? Brother Long, you've made arrangements. Every 3 years, the Thunder Empire's National Guard Hall will hold a thunder battle. In the end, it's all to weaken the National Guard Hall of the affiliated kingdoms and completely eliminate the threat to the Thunder Empire. So it was like that. Longao finally understood the Thunder Empire's National Guard Hall's intentions. Although the Thunder Empire was a colossus, the affiliated kingdoms also had potential. Once they matured, they would threaten the Thunder Empire's position. The National Guard Hall was the cornerstone of every kingdom. One had to admit that the Thunder Empire's National Guard Hall's actions were very wise. As long as the National Guard Hall of the affiliated kingdoms was suppressed, the Thunder Empire would be able to sit back and relax. They wouldn't need to worry about the affiliated kingdom's retaliation. Hall Master, there's something I don't understand. Even if the Thunder Empire holds a thunder battle every 3 years, the affiliated kingdoms can't participate. Doesn't that mean the Thunder Empire can't do anything about it? Brother Long, to be honest, the Thunder Empire has a total of 32 affiliated kingdoms. 12 of them are diehard loyal to the Thunder Empire, while the remaining 20 are somewhat disloyal. Because of this, the Thunder Empire has decreed that every time the Thunder Battle is held, the National Guard Hall of the 30 affiliated kingdoms must send at least 10 members to participate. Those who don't participate will immediately suffer the wrath of all the kingdoms and the Thunder Empire. Hallmaster, I don't believe that every affiliated kingdom has more than 10 members, right? The Thunder Empire isn't a fool. They will send spies to monitor every kingdom. So even if the 32 affiliated kingdoms don't want to participate, they will be forced to. So that's how it is. Hallmaster, if you have something to say, just say it. Longao wasn't a fool. Of course, he knew that Tang Lin had something to say to him. Otherwise, such a busy person wouldn't have waited here for an entire night. Brother Long, you're already a member of the National Guard Hall, so I'll get straight to the point. I'm prepared to let you participate in this thunder battle. I only hope that you can do one thing and do your best to protect the lives of these 10 people. Otherwise, my Starcloud Kingdom will forever be an affiliated kingdom of the Thunder Empire. Just as Tang Lin finished speaking, Ouyang Fei suddenly stood up. He respectfully bowed to Longao and said, "Please." Startled, Longao immediately helped Ouyang Fei up. He said, "Hallmaster, Big Brother Ouyang, I'm sure you know my strength best. When the time comes, the experts of the 32 kingdoms and the Thunder Empire will all gather together. Don't talk about protecting them, whether or not I can come back alive is another matter." Longao really couldn't understand why Tang Lin and Ouyang Fei would trust him so much. In the end, he was only a one-line sky martial artist. If it wasn't for Long Fu's help, he believed that he would have already been devoured by the 9 needles of God. When the time came, all the experts would gather in the Thunder Empire. With his strength, would he be able to hold his own? Brother Long, we've all seen your growth. I hope you can promise me. Chapter 80. Since Ouyang Fei and Tang Lin had already said so, could he really not agree? Shrugging his shoulders helplessly, Longao finally agreed. Brother Long, I will send Luo Cheng to help you when you go to the Thunder Empire to participate in the Thunder Battle. Luo Cheng, the Vice Hall Master of the National Guard Hall, was also an evolver. His position in the National Guard Hall was second only to Tang Lin. Because of this, it felt strange to say it out loud. Longao had only just entered the National Guard Hall, but Luo Cheng was already the Vice Hall Master. And now, Tang Lin had already said that Longao would be the main person in this trip to the Thunder Empire to participate in the Thunder Battle. Luo Cheng would only be a support. Of course, Longao would not agree to such a thing. However, Tang Lin was very firm and did not give Longao a chance to refute. He continued, "Brother Long, the Thunder Battle will officially start in a month. Originally, we were going to set off immediately, but, Hall Master, we will set off immediately for the Thunder Empire." At this moment, Longao seemed like he could not wait any longer. There was a 1,000-year-old thunder fruit in the Thunder Empire. Only by obtaining this thunder fruit could he save Yu Yin. Although there was still a month before the thunder fruit ripened, no one knew if it would ripen ahead of time. Therefore, Longao did not dare to gamble. Yu Yin only had a year. If he lost this opportunity, he would have to wait 1,000 years. Even if he could wait, Yu Yin could not. Because of this, Longao had already told himself that no matter what danger he would encounter, no matter what happened, he would obtain the thunder fruit. Alright, then let's set off immediately. Longao found his grandfather, Longao, and said a few words before leaving Scarlet Fire Town with the others. This time, Longao had killed Liu Mu and Liu Ji. The Nebula Imperial family was not displeased at all. Instead, they had given the position of the city lord to Longao's father, Long Yi. This was a clear indication of the Nebula Imperial family's attitude. With the deterrence of the Nebula Imperial family, Longao knew that the Flowing Cloud sect would not dare to touch his family. It was precisely because of this that Longao left with peace of mind. 2 days later, everyone had returned to the Star Cloud City. The news of the Star Cloud Imperial family's National Guard Hall participating in the Thunder Empire's Battle of Thunder had spread throughout the entire Star Cloud City. No matter what, all the major families still hoped that the Star Cloud National Guard Hall would emerge victorious. This was because only when the kingdom became stronger, these so-called families could also become stronger. Inside the National Guard Hall. No, Hall Master. If you do this, I won't accept it. I believe everyone here won't accept it either. Yu Wei almost roared in anger. Last time, he had been defeated by Longao, and Yu Wei had always been brooding over it. Now, before he could even take his revenge, the Hall Master had told them that this time, in the Thunder Empire, to participate in the Thunder Battle, Longao had become the boss. How could he accept this? It wasn't just Yu Wei. The other Imperial protectors all disagreed, and they were all infuriated. The 10 people who went to the Thunder Empire to participate in the Thunder Battle were Longao, Luo Cheng, Yu Wei, Maro Feng, Tong Bo, Hao Jiangjun, Hao Chao, Yi Rong, Lin Yi, and Wang Huan. As the Deputy Hall Master, there was no doubt that Luo Cheng would become the boss this time, but what was the result? There was another point that everyone felt unconvinced. That was, among the 10 people, Longao's strength was the lowest. Although he defeated Yu Wei, what about the others? One must know that in the National Guard Hall, there were many people who were stronger than Yu Wei. Tong Bo, the most powerful person in the National Guard Hall, also said with some dissatisfaction, Hall Master, I want to ask, what qualifications does Longao have to lead us to participate in the Thunder Battle? Brother Tong is right. In my opinion, Longao doesn't even have the qualifications to participate in the Thunder Battle. The muzzles were unanimously pointed at Longao. In everyone's opinion, even if Longao defeated Yu Wei, he did not get everyone's approval. One by one, the National Guard did not agree with Longao to participate in the Thunder Battle. A one-line sky martial artist might be normal in the National Guard Hall of a small kingdom, but for the powerful Nebula Kingdom, there was no one-line sky martial artist in the entire National Guard Hall. If Longao participated in the Thunder Battle on behalf of the Nebula National Guard Hall, he would definitely be laughed at by the National Guard Halls of other kingdoms. Tang Lin sat quietly at the head of the table. When everyone was quarreling, he suddenly said, "Everyone, calm down." As the National Guard Hall Master, Tang Lin's identity and strength were there. Seeing Tang Lin speak, everyone kept silent. After a glance, Tang Lin asked, "How can you accept Longao's participation in the Thunder Battle?" Although he was the National Guard Hall Master, Tang Lin did not suppress everyone with his identity. After all, the National Guard Hall relied on unity. Even if someone left, they could do better anywhere. Hall Master, I believe you know better than us what the Thunder Battle means. That's right. The Thunder Battle represents the kingdom's glory. If Longao participates in the Thunder Battle, won't he become a joke? Longao, who was sitting at the side, did not say a word from beginning to end. He did not even bother to look at everyone. If it were not for Tang Lin and Ouyang Fei, he would not even participate in the Thunder Battle. It was because of Longao's disregard that everyone became angrier. But when they saw Longao's white hair, many people were surprised. After asking around, they found out about the matter between Longao and Yu Yin. Although they looked down on Longao, everyone admired this kind of infatuated man. How many men in this world could have their hair turn white overnight for their woman? He was dressed in black, had white hair, and a stern face. "Master, we agree that it's not difficult for Longao. As long as he can defeat Brother Hao, we will not object." Hao Chao was recognized as the top expert in the National Guard Hall other than the 3 hall masters. He was at the peak of evolution. Was it possible for Longao to defeat Hao Chao? Tang Lin was not a fool. Of course, he knew that everyone just wanted to make Longao retreat. He sighed deeply in his heart. Although he was a little unhappy, he could not force it. Otherwise, there would not be any benefits. It might even cause chaos in the National Guard Hall. We agree with Brother Yu's suggestion. As long as Longao can defeat Brother Hao, we will not have the slightest objection. On the contrary, if Longao loses, not only will he not be able to participate in the Thunder Battle, but he will also have to withdraw from the National Guard Hall. From then on, he will not be able to step into the National Guard Hall. Okay, I agree. Without waiting for Tang Lin to speak, Longao directly accepted the challenge because he did not want to listen anymore. He continued, "Tomorrow, outside the National Guard Hall, I will fight with Hao Chao. If I win, I hope you all will shut up." Black clothes and white hair, standing there arrogantly and indifferently, exuding a strong sense of confidence. He did not care about anyone at all. Nodding at Tang Lin, Longao turned and left. He did not put anyone in his eyes. In the blink of an eye, Longao had disappeared without a trace. Chapter 81. Just after leaving the Nebula Imperial family, Longao met Domineering, the one-armed saber monarch. Domineering already knew what happened to Longao. Especially when he saw the other party's head full of white hair, he seemed a little sad. "Brother Long, are you all right?" Shaking his head, Longao said, "I'm fine. I heard that you want to represent the Nebula Protector Hall in the Thunder Empire's Thunder War." How could Longao not know what Domineering was worried about? Because of this, before Domineering could persuade him, he said, "I've already made up my mind." Looking deeply at the youth before him, Domineering naturally knew Longao's character. Once he decided on something, he would not change his mind. Thus, Domineering did not continue to persuade him. After chatting with Domineering for a while, Longao left and found an inn to stay for the time being. At night, dark clouds covered the sky. Within the inn, Longao, who was lying on the bed with his eyes closed and thinking about Yu Yin, suddenly opened his eyes. Killing intent surged, shooting out 2 rays of golden light. The corner of his mouth hooked up into a sneer, and he disappeared with a flip. The night was exceptionally quiet. Creak the window was silently opened, and silhouettes shot in from outside. There were a total of 14 people, all dressed in black and masked. Each of them was surging with killing intent. Kill without mercy. The 14 people were all one-line sky cultivators. With such powerful strength, who in Nebula City could send out such a powerful force? "You're looking for me." Seeing the sudden appearance of the youth, the 14 people were somewhat surprised. They were all stunned on the spot, not knowing how the other party discovered them. The one who kills this person will be heavily rewarded. Without waiting for the 14 people to act, Longao had already made the first move. At the same time, the Snow Guzzle saber in his hand also used the first move of the 8 styles of blood drinking, Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes, and the second move, Heart-Devouring Ice. A terrifying saber light ruthlessly chopped down like a meteor. Who knew if it was because Longao's speed was too fast, but some of them could not dodge in time and were directly killed by the blood-drinking saber. Killing 3 one-line sky cultivators with 1 saber strike, what kind of concept was this? The remaining 11 people were all shocked. They did not dare to fight alone. The 11 people joined hands and attacked. Their fist energy continuously overflowed like a sea, each wave stronger than the previous one. Longao did not dare to be careless. At the same time, he also silently used soul-suppressing seal. Like a death knell, ruthlessly ringing in the hearts of the 11 people. The 11 of them were given a big fright and had no idea what was going on. They looked at each other in shock and immediately circulated all of their strength to resist this terrifying corrosive power. And Longao and Longaos. And their souls were their souls absorbed their souls. Their soul. There, of soul. Once Long Fu refined the souls of the 14 one-line sky martial artists and devoured them, he believed that he would be able to break through to the peak of one-line sky very quickly and lay the foundation for breaking through to the evolution realm. Long Fu, help me ask who sent them. Understood, Master. After a while, Long Fu replied, Master, these people were sent by the Miao and Long families. Sure enough. Longao had already guessed that these assassins were most likely sent by the rank 5 Long family. However, he did not expect the Miao family to intervene. It seemed like the Miao and Long families had reached a tacit agreement to eliminate him. Miao family. Long family. Since you want to kill me, I won't be polite. At this moment, Longao had a real killing intent. However, he knew clearly that this was not the time to deal with the two families. First, he had to obtain the 1,000-year thunder fruit. Because of this, Longao did not immediately go to the two families for revenge. He simply dealt with the 14 corpses and then closed his eyes to rest. He was thinking about the voice in his mind. The 1,000-year thunder fruit. No matter what happens, he must obtain it. Nothing must happen to the voice. Long family. Long Ying's expression was extremely ugly. Because just now, the 7 one-line sky warriors he sent out were all sent back. They had become corpses. Long Ying was not a fool. Of course, he had already guessed that the 7 of them must have been killed by Longao. Moreover, Longao did it deliberately. Long Ying had a new understanding of Longao's strength. The Miao and Long families, a total of 14 one-line sky warriors, were actually slaughtered by the opponent. What did this mean? Longao, I will not let you go. I will make you die without a burial place. Uncle, let me deal with Longao. At this time, a young man came in from outside. His cold face was filled with murderous intent. Long Ming exuded strong confidence. Even his aura had changed, like a ball of flame. You have successfully merged with the fire dragon? Nodding, Long Ming seemed to be a little excited. He said, Uncle, I have officially merged with the fire dragon. Longao is no longer my opponent. Moreover, I want to rush to the 100 battle ranking. Long Ying did not want Long Ming to show off too early. After all, becoming a dragon warrior would attract the attention of other forces, especially the high-ranking Long family. It would be very troublesome. How could Long Ming not know? However, his expression was unusually firm as he said, Uncle, if the family wants to advance to the Dragon Valley, I must continue to become stronger. However, it is useless for me to blindly cultivate in seclusion. I can only continue to gain experience. Longao is my first inner demon. If I don't kill this person, it will be difficult for my martial arts cultivation to improve. The inner demon was the biggest obstacle for a warrior. Once a warrior had an inner demon, it would be difficult for his martial arts cultivation to improve, unless he could cut off the inner demon. Long Ming had been a genius that everyone had paid attention to since he was young. However, when he met Longao, he was almost completely defeated. This also became Long Ming's inner demon. Of course, Long Ying knew that if Long Ming wanted to achieve higher achievements, Longao must kill him. If it was in the past, Long Ying would definitely not agree. However, the situation was completely different now. Long Ming had become a dragon warrior. If Long Ming and the fire dragon worked together, killing Longao would be a matter of minutes. Because of this, Long Ying nodded and said, in that case, do as you see fit. However, it is best not to do it in Star Cloud City. As far as I know, Longao has already represented the National Guard Hall to participate in the Battle of Thunder in a month's time. This is your chance. Battle of Thunder? A cruel sneer slowly appeared at the corner of Long Ming's mouth. He looked at the endless void and muttered to himself in an incomparably cold voice, Longao, I will let you know what a dragon martial warrior is. A dragon martial warrior is not an existence you can resist. Mitch, when the time comes, I will make you kneel in front of me and beg me. Chapter 82. Nebula Imperial Family, outside the National Guard Hall. Hao Chao, the strongest person under the 3 Hall Masters of the National Guard Hall. Longao, who had just entered the National Guard Hall less than a month and a half ago, was already at the pinnacle of one-line sky. The difference in strength between Hao Chao and Longao was huge. Almost everyone was leaning towards one side. They all thought that Hao Chao would win and Longao would lose. Yu Wei and the others looked at the young man standing proudly not far away with disdain. They all wished that Hao Chao could kill him. Even if he couldn't, humiliating Longao would also be a good thing. Brother Tang, you and I know Brother Hao's strength very well. Longao's chance of winning is almost 0. If that's the case, why do you still agree to this? Your Majesty, almost everyone in the National Guard Hall is against Longao. If I don't agree to this, I believe that Longao will have a hard time in the National Guard Hall. Not to mention, the Thunder Battle is about to begin. I don't want to complicate things. Ouyang Feng sighed deeply. He wasn't a fool. The reason why these people in the National Guard Hall were against Longao was nothing more than jealousy and hatred. Hao Chao and Longao stood face to face. Both of them were emitting a strong battle intent. Brother Long, no matter who wins or loses in our battle, I admire you very much. Thank you. Seeing the other party's grave and stern face, Hao Chao did not continue to say anything. Longao stood there quietly. He was dressed in black, had a head of white hair, and was aloof and stern. Everything that was originally incompatible was perfectly displayed by Longao. Please. Hao Chao took a step forward and rushed out. As a pinnacle evolution expert, Hao Chao had already completed 108 cycles of evolution. He was only one step away from officially entering the fusion stage. Hao Chao's strength was self-evident. When he attacked, it was like a thunderbolt striking out from the blue. He didn't dare to be careless. Since Yu Yin's incident, Longao seemed to have changed. He became somewhat indifferent. Even his strength had improved. Although he hadn't reached the pinnacle of one-line sky, he wasn't far from it. He did not use the blood-sucking wild blade because he had a good impression of Hao Chao. This battle was just a simple exchange of pointers. He punched out with both fists, using the first style of blood-drinking 8 styles, Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes, and Frozen Heart Devouring. The two instantly engaged in a fierce battle. In the blink of an eye, 3 rounds had passed, and the victor was still undecided. Longao lasted 3 rounds. Looking at the battle between Longao and Hao Chao, everyone was a little moved, because what happened to Longao seemed to have exceeded their understanding. In a battle between a one-line sky martial artist and a peak evolution martial artist, almost everyone believed that Longao would not be able to last more than 3 moves against Hao Chao, or even 1 move. Under everyone's shocked gazes, not only had Longao not been defeated in an instant, but he had become more and more courageous as the battle went on. He was even able to contend against Hao Chao as an equal. Was this true? The soul-suppressing seal, the first seal of the destruction seal. The strength of the soul-suppressing seal was that it was all-pervasive, making it impossible to guard against. While Longao was constantly attacking Hao Chao, the soul-suppressing seal had already quietly invaded Hao Chao's body, corroding his soul. Hao Chao, who was originally full of confidence, felt his soul being corroded by a mysterious and powerful force. He immediately revolved all the strength in his body to resist the corrosion of this force. The soul-suppressing seal was the best and most powerful trump card. In every battle, every time he killed an enemy above his level, the soul-suppressing seal would be able to catch his opponent off guard and help Longao defeat his enemy. Longao was very clear in his heart that with his current strength, if he did not have the all-pervasive soul-suppressing seal, not to mention defeating a peak evolution martial artist, even defeating a peak evolution martial artist would be an extremely difficult matter. Seizing this rare opportunity, Longao used both his fists to perform the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. Layers of fist energy overlapped, and the 9 fist energies instantly overlapped. The terrifying fist energy had already smashed out. At this moment, Hao Chao did not have any spare energy to deal with Longao. He was wholeheartedly resisting the mysterious force in his body. This was because he knew that once his soul was corroded by this mysterious force, the consequences would be unimaginable. The fist energy was unleashed. If this fist hit, Hao Chao would definitely be sent flying by Longao's fist. Even if he did not die, he would be crippled. But just as Longao's fists were 1 centimeter away from Hao Chao, he abruptly stopped and said, "Brother Hao, I apologize for my lack of manners." Longao withdrew his fists and stood there. He was also dressed in black, with a head of white hair. He was aloof and cold as he stood there alone, quietly. After a full minute, Hao Chao used all his strength to expel the mysterious force in his body. He let out a sigh of relief. Hao Chao obviously knew what had just happened. Even if he was unwilling to admit it, he still said, "Brother Long, I have lost this battle. I have lost this battle." Hearing Hao Chao's words, everyone was moved. They all looked at the two of them in a daze. This was because no one believed that Hao Chao would actually lose. Could a first-rate martial artist really defeat a peak evolution martial artist? Impossible. This is impossible. Brother Hao, how could you lose to a piece of trash? Before Yu Wei could finish his words, he felt a cold murderous aura enveloping him in an instant, causing him to shiver. Black clothes, white hair, and cold eyes. Long Ao coldly looked at Yu Wei. His voice seemed to come from the depths of hell as he said, "If you dare to act lowly again, I will kill you without mercy." Long Ao's strength had completely scared Yu Wei silly. The words that were already at the tip of his tongue were forcibly swallowed back down. It was because of this that the situation between the two of them was laughable. A one-line sky martial artist had actually managed to intimidate an evolved martial artist. Before this, everyone in the National Guard Hall was unconvinced. They all disliked Long Ao. But now, Long Ao had defeated Hao Chao. Who would dare to find trouble with him? Tang Lin and Ouyang Feng were the happiest people. This was because for such a character to appear in the National Guard Hall, it was a good thing for the Nebula royal family. Long Ao, I now announce that you are officially the Vice Hall Master of the National Guard Hall. Tang Lin's decision caused an uproar. Everyone knew what the Vice Hall Master of the National Guard Hall represented. This was because the 3 Hall Masters of the National Guard Hall, whether it was the Hall Master Tang Lin or the 2 Vice Hall Masters Luo Cheng and Yang Yi, they were all fusion martial artists. If an evolved martial artist was not qualified to become a Vice Hall Master, would a one-line sky martial artist be qualified? If it was the Long Ao of the past, no one would be convinced. But now, Long Ao had defeated Hao Chao. Even if everyone was unwilling, they already knew that things had come to this. It was because of this that the members of the National Guard Hall, including the others, all had smiles on their faces as they expressed their congratulations. Long Ao did not care about this at all. He only cared about one thing, and that was to immediately head to the Thunder Empire to search for the 1,000-year-old Thunder Fruit. Chapter 83. Clenching his fists, Yu Wei looked at him viciously. National Guard Hall, lobby. Hall Master, I'm going to the Thunder Empire immediately. Of course, Tang Lin knew why Long Ao was in such a hurry. Under normal circumstances, they still needed to wait 10 days before they could depart, but in order to accommodate Long Ao, Tang Lin had no choice but to bring forward the date. This time, Nebula National Guard Hall sent 10 members to the Thunder Empire to participate in the Thunder Battle. They were Long Ao, Luo Cheng, Yu Wei, Maro Feng, Tong Bo, Hao Jiangjun, Hao Chao, Yi Rong, Lin Yi, and Wang Huan. 2 Deputy Hall Masters and 8 National Guards. Long Ao, a one-line sky martial artist, according to the National Guard Hall's strength ranking, it was absolutely impossible for him to become the Deputy Hall Master, let alone the boss of this Thunder Battle. But the result? A Xiantian martial artist had become the Vice Hall Master and the leader of the 10 people. Among the 10 people, at least 80% of them were unconvinced, but they didn't dare to voice their anger. Who could be a match for someone who could even defeat Hao Chao? Tang Lin explained some things and arranged for the 10 people, including Ouyang Fei, to officially leave Nebula City and go to the Thunder Empire to participate in the so-called Thunder Battle. When Long Ao left Nebula City, The Miao family's assassins and Long Ming had also set off. Longao didn't know what the Miao family and Long family were doing. As a vassal kingdom of the Thunder Empire, Nebula Kingdom had to pay taxes every year. Even if Nebula Kingdom was unwilling, they could only accept it silently under the tyranny of the Thunder Empire. The distance between the Thunder Empire and Nebula Kingdom was very far. According to the speed of Longao and the others, it would take at least 10 or even 15 days to arrive. On the way to the Thunder Empire. Brother Long, I have something to ask you. Do you have time? Brother Luo, what's the matter? As the Deputy Hall Master of the National Guard Hall, Luo Cheng's strength and identity were there. Moreover, Luo Cheng didn't show a trace of contempt, or even contempt from beginning to end. Brother Long, I'm afraid the thunder battle this time isn't that simple. Seemingly surprised, Longao asked in return, Brother Luo, is there a problem? Nodding his head, Luo Cheng said with a serious expression, Brother Long, according to reliable information, the Thunder Empire wants to completely eradicate the hidden danger that the kingdom has brought. The 10 members they sent are all super geniuses. Therefore, we must be careful when participating in the thunder battle. Brother Luo, please speak your mind. Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew that Luo Cheng did not come looking for him just to talk about this matter. Brother Long, since that's the case, I'll get straight to the point. Your talent and potential are obvious to all. With Brother Long's potential, you'll definitely soar to the sky if you participate in the thunder battle. At that time, if nothing unexpected happens, the Thunder Empire will definitely recruit Brother Long. So, I hope that Brother Long won't agree to the Thunder Empire's offer. So that was the case. Longao smiled helplessly and said, Brother Luo, don't worry. Since I have already promised the Nebula royal family, no matter what conditions the Thunder Empire throws at me, I will not be moved. I wonder if Brother Luo is satisfied with this answer? Satisfied. Of course, Luo Cheng was satisfied. Just like that, the group headed towards the Thunder Empire. The Thunder Empire was one of the 9 provinces of the Tianwu continent. It was one of the 2 overlords of the Tianwu continent. There were many vassal kingdoms around it. Thunder City was the capital of the Thunder Empire. It was the place where politics, economy, and military were the most concentrated. It was also the place with the most martial artists. The entire Thunder Empire, including the surrounding experts, were all gathered here. After 13 days of rushing, Longao and the group finally arrived at Thunder City. Looking at the huge city gates, Longao was a little surprised. Not to mention strength, just the magnificence of Thunder City was not something Nebula City could compare to. As one of the vassal kingdoms of the Thunder Empire, the Nebula royal family had a special relay station in Thunder City. 32 kingdoms and 32 relay stations were all gathered in Thunder City, waiting for the thunder battle to begin. Among the 32 vassal kingdoms of the Thunder Empire, 12 of them were loyal to the Thunder Empire. As for the remaining 20 kingdoms, they were all ambitious and wanted to rise up and break away from the Thunder Empire. It was also because of this that the Thunder Empire wanted to use the thunder battle to deplete the strength of the 32 kingdoms. As long as the members of the National Guard Hall of each kingdom were eliminated, the 32 kingdoms would not be a concern. Among the many kingdoms, the Nebula Kingdom's strength could be ranked in the top 3. However, the relay station arranged by the Thunder Empire was not very good. This was also a sign of the Thunder Empire's attitude. The Nebula royal family knew this, and so did the other kingdoms. Inside the Nebula relay station, Ouyang Fei arranged everyone and found Longao. He went straight to the point and said, Brother Long, according to reliable information, the 1000-year thunderfruit has been taken by someone. Therefore, we are already late. What did you say? Longao's main purpose in coming to Thunder City this time was to obtain the 1000-year thunderfruit. But now, Ouyang Fei told him that the 1000-year thunderfruit had disappeared and was taken by someone else. How could he not be angry? If he could not obtain the 1000-year thunderfruit, Yu Yin would not be able to save her. 1 year, Yu Yin only had 1 year. In other words, after 1 year, Even if he obtained the 1,000-year thunderfruit, it would be useless. Brother Long, I did not investigate this matter clearly. I am sorry. Reason suppressed emotion. Longao knew that this matter had nothing to do with Ouyang Fei. In the end, Ouyang Fei helped him because of a favor. Not helping him was an obligation. Therefore, he did not blame Ouyang Fei. Big brother Ouyang, you must be joking. I want to ask if you have any clues as to who obtained the 1,000-year thunderfruit. Ian, don't worry. I have already sent people to investigate. I believe there will be a result soon. In another 12 days, the thunder battle will officially begin. Brother Long, during this time, you have to rest well. No matter if you win or lose, I only have one request. That is, you must come back alive. With Ouyang Fei's help, Longao knew that there would be a result soon. Nodding, Longao said, "Don't worry, I will protect my life. Brother Long, we have just arrived at Thunder City. Why don't we go out and have a look?" Longao did not want to go, but seeing Ouyang Fei's urgent eyes, he could only agree helplessly. Just like that, the two of them got up and left Star Cloud Station. As the capital of Thunder Empire, Thunder City's prosperity was not something that Star Cloud City could compare to. Because of this, all the people from the 32 kingdoms entered Thunder City and enjoyed the prosperity of Thunder City. There were even some winners who could not resist the temptation of Thunder City and directly joined the National Guard Hall. Brother Long, Thunder City's most famous snack is the rolling donkey. Previously, it was transported at top speed. When it was sent to Star Cloud Imperial family, the taste had changed. Since we are here this time, why don't we try it ourselves? No problem. Chapter 84. Rolling Donkey, Thunder City's most famous snack. In the entire Thunder City, there was only one rolling donkey shop that specialized in it. It was packed with people. If one wanted to eat a bowl of rolling donkey, sometimes they could even queue up for 2 hours. Ouyang Fei had already made arrangements. He had already sent people to reserve seats. When the two of them arrived, they could only shrug their shoulders helplessly. After sitting down, the waiter served 2 bowls of rolling donkey. After tasting the first mouthful, Ouyang Fei couldn't help but praise, "It's really delicious." Longao also nodded his head in agreement. He had to admit that Thunder City's rolling donkey was indeed delicious. No wonder there were people who didn't hesitate to queue up for more than 2 hours just to buy a bowl of rolling donkey. You two get lost. Our family's young master wants to eat here. At this time, a group of burly men came in and started shouting without distinguishing between right and wrong. They ferociously drove away the crowd in the shop. When the originally angry crowd saw the 2 youngsters behind the burly men, they didn't dare to say anything. One by one, they left unwillingly. Brother Duanmu, I know you like rolling donkey the most. Therefore, I asked the master to make a brand new one. Try it. Duanmu Lin smiled with satisfaction. As the young master of the Duanmu family, no matter where he went in Thunder City, he was a high and mighty existence. Long Yili, the 4th-rank Long family's hedonistic disciple. He relied on his family's strength to commit all sorts of outrages. Together with Duanmu Lin, they were known as the 4 pests of Thunder City. This time, Long Yili took a fancy to a maid beside Duanmu Lin. The more he couldn't get, the more he wanted. It was precisely because of this that Long Yili tried to curry favor with Duanmu Lin. You 2 bastards, did you hear that? Almost everyone in the shop had left. Only Longao, Ouyang Fei, and a few others remained. Coldly looking at the burly man, Longao asked, "Who are you calling?" "You bastards are calling you." Just as the burly man finished speaking, he realized that something was wrong. With a roar, he ruthlessly sent a palm strike toward the 2 of them. However, the palm strike came back even faster. He screamed and fell to the ground. It was obvious that he had fainted. Seeing the burly man suddenly attack, Long Yili and Duanmu Lin's expression turned cold. Looking at Ouyang Fei, Long Yili sneered and said, "Crown Prince of Star Cloud Kingdom. Brother Duanmu, do you know him? Crown Prince of Star Cloud Kingdom? Just trash. Duanmu Lin, say it again." Being humiliated in such a manner, Ouyang Fei was enraged. He stood up abruptly. As the crown prince of the Nebula royal family, insulting him was equivalent to insulting the entire Nebula kingdom. With a cold snort, Duanmu Lin sneered and said, "Trash from a crippled country dares to be impudent here? Men, take them down." As soon as Duanmu Lin finished speaking, 6 or 7 burly men shot out from behind the two of them. They charged towards Longao and Ouyang Fei. However, the Nebula royal family's guards followed behind them. In the blink of an eye, both sides were engaged in a fierce battle. "How dare you? How dare you resist? Kill without mercy." Seeing that the other party was actually resisting, Long Yili and Duanmu Lin were greatly shocked, and both of them almost roared in anger. According to the status of Long clan and Duanmu clan in Thunder City, who would dare to touch the lion's head and pull out a tooth from the tiger's mouth? As the crown prince of the Nebula royal family, Ouyang Fei was also a one-line sky warrior. Even if he didn't make a move, the Xiantian Qi he released was enough to suppress everyone. Xiantian warrior? Long Yili and Duanmu Lin were greatly shocked, as if they couldn't believe it. Both of them turned around at the same time, rolling and crawling to escape. Their appearance was extremely embarrassing. "Big brother Ouyang, what's wrong?" Looking at the dignified face of Ouyang Fei, Long Ao was very surprised. "Brother Long, you don't know, but the two people who just escaped are from Thunder City's Long clan and Duanmu clan. Both of them are known as the 4 evils of Thunder City. This time, after being humiliated by me, I believe they will absolutely not let this matter go." As the crown prince of the Nebula royal family, Ouyang Fei naturally knew that this matter wasn't so simple. Although Long clan and Duanmu clan were only 2 clans in Thunder City, their strength was almost the same as the Nebula royal family. This was the foundation and strength of the major clans in Thunder City. Long Ao didn't say much, because he was too lazy to care about the matters between clans and countries. As long as he could find the 1,000-year-old thunder fruit, then he would participate in the Thunder City War. Ouyang Fei and Long Ao didn't continue to eat and roll around. The two of them just got up and prepared to leave. Outside, there were already many people standing there. Long Yili and Duanmu Lin were also there. Their faces were filled with indifference and killing intent. Long Yili roared in anger, "The trash inside, roll out for this young master. You bastards, you actually dare to be impudent here. Are you blind? Brother Long, you see, I didn't say anything wrong. This kind of scum, if it weren't for the clan behind them, I'm afraid they wouldn't even be able to survive for 3 days." Long Ao also smiled and said, "Counter soldiers with arms, water with an earth weir. I also want to see how powerful the helpers those two found are." Nodding, Long Ao and Ouyang Fei left the store with their subordinates. Looking at the dozens of people outside, the two of them smiled. This was because after sensing the aura of the crowd, the two of them discovered that the helpers Long Yili and Duanmu Lin found were only 2 Xiantian realm warriors, and they were only 100 scatter heaven warriors. 100 scatter heaven warriors? "You two bastards, don't you know who we are? How dare you be impudent here? If the two of you kneel down now and call me grandfather 3 times, I might be magnanimous and only break one of your legs. Otherwise what?" Long Ao asked with interest. For the hedonistic disciples of big clans, other than waiting for death, they could only rely on their power to bully others. In the end, Long Ao looked down on these hedonistic disciples from the bottom of his heart. If it weren't for the other party's identity, he and Ouyang Fei wouldn't even bother to talk nonsense. "Reckless fool, brother Duanmu, talking nonsense with this kind of scum is simply a waste of our breath." Nodding his head, Duanmu Lin's face turned cold, and murderously said, "Kill." Under Duanmu Lin's command, 2 burly men shot out from behind the two of them. They were the helpers the two of them had found this time. The two of them were 100 scatter heaven warriors. Relying on the power of the clans behind them, the two of them directly attacked to kill Long Ao and Ouyang Fei. In the eyes of the Long and Duanmu clans, the small Nebula imperial family was nothing. "You're courting death." Ouyang Fei's eyes turned cold. No matter what, he was the crown prince of the Nebula royal family. He represented the Nebula royal family. If he didn't dare to retaliate after being humiliated again and again, it wouldn't just be him losing face. It would be the entire Nebula royal family. As a one-line sky warrior, when Ouyang Fei rushed out, his powerful aura had already shrouded the 200 scatter heaven warriors. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Ouyang Fei's palms fiercely chopped down. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories,